Bonjour! Yes, it's time for another Racing Post Live here on Saturday with myself, Dave Orton, steering a fine ship across the channel. We will be going. 2 races we'll be picking up from Longchamp, but of course the action domestically is where we're going to be concentrating mainly. Newmarket kicks us off 1:31. We've got a Prix Royale, of course. Group 1 action. It's all about the Arc de Triomphe this week, guys, isn't it? I know a lot of you are going over. I've seen a few people on racecourses saying we'll be watching Racing Post Live over there. So welcome to you if you are making that pilgrimage. If you're going tomorrow, let us know. Of course, we'll be talking about all things Arc, and we'll be keeping an eye on the Longchamp races as well. We've got the Group 1 Sun Chariot, 2:42 for you. Saffron Beach, Homeless Songs, Ding Ding, round 2. Or could the mighty Laurel come and absolutely usurp them both? We'll be signing off 3:36 at the Challenge Cup, one of those great across-the-field handicaps at Ascot, where we'll be bringing you some more racing from as well. Who's with me then? Before we go down the panel, a reminder, you make this show. This is interactive, of course. If you're on YouTube, thumbs up, like and subscribe. There's a chat bar there. Get involved. You can see all the graphics. Look, there you go. Look, there's a Racing Post Members Club for you. This is the real market. You can see we're in association with Betfair. It's the exchange and the sportsbook. We're giving you a lucky 15 to enjoy throughout the afternoon. The multi will hopefully be on the move. Let us know you're out there, guys. Get in your art picks. How about a 1, 2, 3? Something like that. It's been a bit of a spicy weekend so far as well, hasn't it? We'll be talking about some racing politics with, amongst others, Charlie Post. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. We'll have to share a journey in with you today. So,
no trains.
Yeah,
no
so
trains.
We put the world to rights, to be honest.
Yeah, I side-saddled with you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Which is
which would be interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. But no. So we've had a lovely chat on the way in, and you've got a couple of interesting angles for us this afternoon as well. Yeah. Not just the tips, of course.
No. Yeah, plenty to say, of course.
Plenty to say as ever. And we're really delivering for you out there today. The show delivers because the other postman, the anti-postman, is in. Freshly cut, look, Robbie Wilders.
Yeah, looking all right, isn't it? Good to see you, mate. I didn't. How did you take up? Did you drive Poste or?
Yeah, funnily enough, he hitched a lift. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Beaconsfield Services. I jumped on board.
How long did it take?
We had about a good 45 minutes together, didn't we?
Traffic was a bit slow across.
That's all right. It wasn't a problem. It gave us a chance to work out how to play you best this afternoon.
Bonding. Yeah, just leave me to it, mate.
You're pressing the buttons for Betfair today?
I'm pressing the buttons, yeah. I've got me selections in front of me now, so it should be a bit smoother than usual.
All right, well, listen, Barry, we can only hope that it's going to be smooth. Wilders presses the buttons for the big hitter, who joins us back from Dublin.
Yeah, Dave, you must be planning on having a few beers after work this evening, going to the Thirsty Bear if you got a lift in. So I like to see that good responsibility on your side. Very nice indeed.
You know me, Barry. Absolutely. There was only going to be one driver, that's for sure.
It's quite good, wasn't it? Because they said, oh, we're going to go for a beer afterwards. I said, no, actually, I'm doing a triathlon tomorrow. I better not. And then I was like, oh, but probably the more pressing reason is I've got to drive back through London.
I've driven you out of London before, so it's a two-way street here, Barry. How's life then, Barry? It's a massive weekend, of course. All the French racing available on the exchange as well, isn't it?
Yeah, everything available on the exchange and sportsbook. Like you always remind viewers, Dave, this is all about showcasing the functionality of not only the Betfair Exchange and how you can set your own prices. You could be a price maker, a price taker, a backer, or a layer, all that good stuff in the exchange, but also the sportsbook where we have additional places and all sorts of special offers as well. Like on multiples this weekend, just for today, Saturday, if you bet £10 on a horse racing multiple, you get a free £10 bet on horse racing multiples. It's a knockout offer. It's flying with our customers, old and new customers, and it's available to everyone. So get stuck in there. And I might just say as well, for the football this weekend on the Premier League, there's a free £2 bet builder on the Premier League. So just go on to the Betfair website on the sportsbook to claim that, and that's available to everyone as well. So a couple of cracking offers this weekend. And I think for this week, or for this month of October, anything we do when we're placing our charity bets to show the functionality of both the exchange and sportsbook, we're going to donate to the Injured Jockeys Fund. I think we did them a check in January for $2 or $3 grand, if memory serves me correct. So hopefully we can win a few quid for them as well in October.
Yeah, you're having another sensational year. Let's hope we can keep it going this Saturday. I'll tell you what, you're a consummate pro, Barry. What's the Arsenal-Tottenham score out there at the moment? You must have a little screen somewhere, surely. We've got you on the show. He's an avid Spurs fan.
It's 1-1 at half-time. Harry Kane scored the equaliser. We went behind to a worldie by all accounts. But Kane from the penalty spot, he scored the most away goals in the Premier League now and the most in the London Derby as well. He's just overtaken Thierry Henry to score most in the North London Derby.
Yeah, he doesn't miss them, does he? It was a cheeky little Panenka as well. I saw that, actually. Yeah, absolutely.
You got that in your locker?
Don't you worry about that. I was out managing my under 8s this morning. Talking of under 8s and multiples, how many? So, what is it? A lucky 15, Barry?
We're going to stick with the lucky 15 for our multiple, please, Robbie. 6 doubles, 4 trebles, an accumulator, and 4 single bets. So, like a Yankee, except it's the 4 singles as well. It's 15 bets. We're going to do it for £1 each way, so it's going to cost us 30 quid in total. Fingers crossed we can get a couple of winners on the board. Robbie, if you'd like to start off, we've 3 in Ascot and 1 in Newmarket. So the 151 in Ascot, we're going for King Charles III's horse to have the first winner in his colours. In the Queen's old colours, obviously, but running in his name now. King's Lynn is the name of the horse in the Rice Stakes. 3 places there. In the 3 o'clock, then Vadream won the race last year, the Bengough Stakes over 6 furlongs. Betfair Sportsbook paying additional places there. It's 4 places. Then New Kingdom in the big handicap over 7 furlongs at 336. That's 5 places to each way punters on the sportsbook. And then our first leg is going to be Crystal Estrella in the 131 in Newmarket. That's the 10 furlongs fillies handicap. It's 4 places there. Again, additional place on the Betfair Sportsbook. So, like I said, 6 doubles, 4 trebles, an accumulator, and 4 singles, 15 bets. What does that come to, Robbie, if we manage to get it up?
19.3 large.
Okay.
We'll call it 20 grand. We'd round it up
let's
to
round
20
it up,
grand.
shall we?
That'd be nice for the Engine Jockeys Fund to kick off the month of October, wouldn't it?
Who knew you'd put Barry in a good mood?
It's this little sheet right here.
Look at the producers have written
Let's have this in the future because it's going to be much smoother from now on. Yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that we were considering Posty for that position today, the 2 postmen.
Oh, really?
He
doesn't even work here.
I've excelled and I've done it before.
You absolutely
have. You done it before? I didn't realise.
The odd time I've been chucked under the bus. So
quite right. So look, let's have some fun this afternoon. Let's hear from you out there. I can see it building all out there. It's just one of those wonderful times of year at the moment. Arc Weekend, something special, isn't it? Let's hear, favourite Arc winners. Let's have it all. Who wins the surrounding races, of course. Barry, we're going to try and keep our eye on it, aren't we, at Longchamp? Of course, they watered last weekend when it was dry. They've had about 40 mil throughout. We're expecting hot, deep ground again. I've seen a couple of the early races as well. We've got Denmark even going, at the Ballon d'Or 2. You're on the sales race over there. So much to keep our eyes on, of course. Safe gambling all the way. But what are we looking at with Kyprios at the moment? We're going to try and call the Cadran, aren't we?
Yeah, the last time I looked, obviously Kyprios is going to be big odds on today. He was 8-11 the last time I looked, but you said he watered there last week. They didn't actually. That was a miscommunication from them. But there has been plenty of rain, and there's been conflicting going reports from Longchamp already. Some people just saying it's good to soft, others saying it's absolutely bottomless. But I haven't seen any times for the first couple of races. But that will obviously give us a better informed opinion on what way the going is. But odds on, obviously, Kyprios. All ground comes the same to him. He's just a class act.
Well, absolutely. I was lucky enough to speak to Aidan yesterday, and you just got the feeling he called him an honest-to-God horse in the editorial piece that David Jennings did with him at the sales this week. And I think that's basically it, isn't it? They were happy to go. They were, I think the further they go, the better he goes. And Yates got beaten in this, you remember, in 2008, the great Yates, which everyone thinks Kyprios has got a chance of getting a couple of Gold Cups. He's young, he takes his racing so well. So this is one on the CV that Aidan doesn't have. So we'll be covering that for you. We've got the Royer coming up, Emily Dickinson in that, of course, which is literally 2 minutes after supposed to be 2 minutes after our Newcastle, our Newmarket race. We've got Very Elegant in that, who didn't. Well,
she'll get beat, won't she?
You couldn't wait to get that in. What have you got against her?
I just wasn't very taken. I know, but that was a while ago. As in, I don't think she's not really. Her form hasn't been that great this time round, and her 2 starts over here haven't been.
Do you like anything in France today? I mean, Kyprios looks in. She's got Quickthorn against.
I quite like Sela Rossa against.
This is in the Royer.
Yeah,
over the mile 6, of course. So it's going to be a tough old slog, but I don't know. I could see Emily Dickinson going well, actually. It's a massive weekend for Aidan, of course. He's got high definition running the Cumberland Lodge. The big talking.
That was weird. Just sounds like they're running out of ideas with what to do.
You found one in the Cumberland Lodge, haven't you?
A couple, yeah. Third Realm and Cresta.
Yeah, the third
But
Realm.
not Hamish. I think he needs to be fresh.
I'm going to tell you, when we get nearer to that race, I actually spoke to Aidan about that race yesterday off camera, and he was actually asking me about the form for it, which was a bit of a weird position for me to be in. It's like he hadn't quite seen the race, and he said, "Who's Hamish?"
Really?
And I said, well, it's the one that chased it. Yeah, he did.
Nearly beat
Surely
Kipros
not.
last
He did.
time.
He did, but listen,
He's
this
got
is
a
the
lot
one
to
that-
Know what finished second in the Irish Ledger.
I said it's the one that
Surely he
I
was
said
just
it's the
going
one
blank.
that gave you something to think about with Kipros, and he went, yeah.
I think he was pulling your
I
leg.
can't remember
He was
exactly what he said.
winding you
Listen,
up.
I'm telling you, we've got it on camera, but
He's
if
more on
you're
the
listening,
ball than
Aidan,
that.
I wouldn't throw you under the bus like these guys would. All right,
You've just done it.
Me and Aidan get on very well. I have
You've
to
just
say.
done it.
Not anymore you don't when he sees this clip.
Yeah, exactly.
He's finally started calling me Dave rather than
Not
David.
anymore. You'll be David when he calls you
Has he
later.
ever been known as David?
I'll tell you what, he seemed like he was in a very good place yesterday, Aidan, in all seriousness. I could tell that he really quite enjoyed it, and sometimes he does feel a little bit rushed, and you're on the clock and all that, so you've got a big media program over there. But yeah, no, he seemed like he was in a pretty good
Because he
place.
likes you.
He just won the Group 3, of course. The controversial Group 3. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an opinion.
You just keep your elbows to yourself.
I'm telling you, mine are nicely tucked
Yeah.
in. They're not
Yeah.
occasionally, I
No.
know, but very controversial yesterday. And the best line I saw about that, you all know what we're talking about. Christophe Soumillon gets his 60-day ban. Still riding tomorrow, of course, on Verdini. For elbowing Ross Orion, who came off his horse, of course, one of Rafe Beckett's. I saw Barry was on Twitter about that. We'll get to it. And we want to hear from you what you think about that. But Posty, from a riding point of view, is going to bring us some interesting angles, that's for sure. And obviously, continuous run that race. Looks like he's going for the futurity. Right, let's hone in at Newmarket. Sun is out, funnily enough. There's been plenty of rain this week. We will keep an eye on the race times, as Barry alluded to get a real sucker on that ground. Now, Krista Estrella is an interesting horse, Barry. We haven't seen her for a little while. She loved the slot when she came good at the third time of asking at Goodwood. I was with her that day. Team Valor, and she's now got new colours on. That means she might be globetrotting at some point. I'm surprised she's as big as she is.
Yeah, she was at the Rothschild. Evelyn the Rothschild did own her, sold obviously an interest in her to Team Valor, and that's who colour she runs in today. She absolutely danced in. She won 4 lengths that day in Goodwood on soft ground. Now we haven't seen her since. That was back in May. I haven't found any comments about her where they said that she picked up an injury or that, or whether they were just waiting for the soft ground in the autumn. I'm hoping that's the case. I'd say she'll come on for this run, whatever she does here. But hopefully her class could get her through here. She's 17 on the exchange now, though. She was an 8-to-1 chance at one stage. Springer in the market was I'll Be There, but he's now drifting out to 13.5. Money for Persist. White Willow is 10. That Lath is 10 as well. There's money come for that. But yeah, I'm with Crystal Estella. We're going to back her winning place, please, Robbie. We're going to have 25 quid in the win market. We're going to have 25 quid in the 4-place market as well. Billy, when she won her maiden, or when she finished third behind the good horse Emily Upjohn in Sandown, or she was 4th that day. That wasn't a bad run at all. Like, we all know what Emily Upjohn's gone and done, but the run in Goodwood puts her in here off a mark of 80. I think she's considerably better than the mark of 80. So I'd be very disappointed if she doesn't run into the first 4 at the very least for us. And we're just covering our win stake with having a 25 quid in the first 4-place market on the exchange on her.
Yeah, listen, I can see that the way to go. I think, listen, stalls on the stand side, we should say, at Newmarket as well, which is something they've tried to stop on the Rolling Mile, which is where, of course, we're back on, because that golden highway, as we call it, quicker ground on the rail, basically. Let's see if they hug the rail. When it's softer ground, they come wide. We've got the sales race, of course, leading up to the big one, the Sun Chariot. Is Homeless Song's going to really show us what she's all about. First time tongue-tie, Saffron Beach last year's winner. Great race, cannot wait for that. We've got group racing all over the place. Let's get some selections from the lads though as they go. And I like White Willow here. Richard Fye's won this before. Charlie Poste.
I like Good American of Rafe Beckett's right outside her, but it's drifted like a barge.
I
don't really like anything, but if pressed, persist, like the pedigree, obviously out of a Group 1 and winner and persuasive, pretty progressive.
You're going to want to watch Persist from the gates, guys. I covered
it does
her last
break
time.
slowly,
Yeah, I backed her at Newmarket last time, and I didn't like the way
if she starts breaking well, that's a well handicapped filly though.
She was a real tricky ride for Tom Marquand last time. She's made her way into second favourite. No one's mentioned Al Husson, of course, in the Shadwell colours for Roger Varian. Is she away again?
Slowly away.
I'll tell you what, some of these fillies, when they get these little glitches, so she's right out the back. She's going to hope basically that but listen, she's very talented, this horse. They know that she's going to break slow. I'm very surprised, guys, to see Spence in front here on White Willow. I thought he'd be delivering late. Now, when you get the soft ground at Newmarket, sometimes they find it's hard to make up the ground, Posty, and they don't want to know the rail at the moment.
No, they're staying right away from the rail. And like you said, just a middling gallop at the moment. Good American, who I put up made good late headway the last at York, but looks keen early on through this stage of the race.
All right, one of our regulars in the chat, Paul Bakewell, says, I've got something enticing. Of course, that's one of Kills' best bets, leading towards the near side. They're kind of merging into groups. Rob, anything catching your eye before I go to Barry?
No, but our good friend Persist has made up a bit of ground. Does that suggest they're going quite slow?
Yeah, they have gone slowly. Barry, what do you like?
Well, Al Huz is still your favourite. Something enticing has come into 10.5 along with Zenga.
Yeah. Okay, so Rog, who's having a great... Every time we seem to go on to these Saturdays, Rog is there, isn't he? Roger Varian, of course. Right, what's this coming through then? So it's good American here. This is the... they've got a runner in the Sun Chariot, haven't they? Of course, Prosperous Voyage, Group 1 winner. So this could be another big day for Beckett. He's had a great week. Looking for the favourite, Al Hassan. Loads of horses in front at the moment.
Travels well, though.
Persist has got its chance, I think. Look, what's this out the back? This is Morgan Ferry as well for Haggis.
Crystal
Another
Estrella
one.
going quite
Right
well.
across the track, guys. What do we think?
I mean, Al Hussein's looking to work through a gap right now, but I mean, the race is wide open.
There's a Gav Cromwell horse coming here, Robbie. What's this? This is Delath.
Persist ain't out of it either.
Persistent. Yeah, she's really talented.
Maybe a bit too
White
late.
Willow's absolutely gone. The favourite
Who's the
hated the
favourite?
dip, Al Hassan, but
From
now
home,
she's
well,
coming out of it. Could this be a group horse? You'll probably need
Looks
to.
a bit
Paul
awkward in the
Keeley
dip,
will be
though.
singing at the moment because something enticing's there. The favourite's coming over the top, though.
Yeah.
Class is
Wins.
going to rise to the top. I tell you what. She's green as grass. She hated the dip.
Yeah,
but
didn't enjoy
Al
the dip.
Hassan has made the 4-timer. Robbie Wilders.
Yeah, you can mark her up for that because she looked quite awkward at the dip, for sure.
She's won on the course, but she hated it, didn't she? She's all over
Made
the
up
place.
a lot of late ground from after being blocked off and in quite a slowly run race. So that's obviously a very good horse, isn't
And
it?
they've come down the middle, Posty. We'll check the times after Barry gives us the story of the market in the first here today.
Yeah, so something enticing was second, wasn't it? That traded at a low of even money on the exchange. Your winner had a Betfair SP of 5.4, Al Huston. So interesting to see what they do with her now. She's near her last when it turned into a bit of a sprint, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
When they turned the taps on just at the dip, she was a bit all over the place, but she waved her way through. It's a good, decent win at the finish, I suppose, in a competitive mare's handicap.
You'd be definitely marking her up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, she's going to end up rated nearly 100 after the back of that, isn't she? So
That's
she's
not a problem for them.
No, but she's going to have to be a pattern filly now.
I would
isn't she?
suggest they're pot hunting. They've just picked up 25 grand, basically. And
It's good placement.
well, he's just mustard at that, isn't he? Roger Varian.
That is really good placement.
They don't often keep their fillies beyond the 3-year-old year. This one, I'm sure, will be back next year. Was it Zaynar's the other one, isn't it, that we saw running on the rolling mile recently? He's just mustard, isn't he, Roger? If you know, and the market tends to find him, but that was one that's borne out. Shall we pop across the channel then to Paris Longchamp, because we will look at that. The crowd is building there. I watched the racing there. Was it yesterday they had a card as well, didn't they? And it was Songclue, sorry. And there's just no one there at Songclue. This is a Saturday where you can sort of walk around and get your drinks and that, whereas Sunday is all you know. But it's a great meeting. Have you ever been?
I haven't. Have you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It sounds like there's a story to tell.
Yeah.
Right?
When was the last Arc winner you witnessed in person, Barry? Last Arc winner.
Oh, Jamie. Oh, one of the Aga Khan's fillies, Samila.
Oh, not Zarkava,
Mela?
obviously. You remember that one? Yeah.
No, not Sarkava, another one.
Enable
That was the last
when
time I
went.
was in Paris anyway. I don't fancy that ARC meeting at all, to tell you the truth.
Really? That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, all right, of all the places Barry's been. Robbie, you want to go, don't you? Come on.
I really like to.
I don't really like going to the track often, but I quite like to go to Paris, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's
This
absolutely.
is
You don't want to go racing, but I'll go to Paris.
yeah,
I'll go to the Arc meeting and watch it from a cafe.
Yeah.
I always think it's quite a long day at the
Jump in,
races,
lads.
isn't it?
And
Here we
away
go.
we go then in the Roy. Very elegant, made our way to
2012.
the.
Solomia.
2012 was it Solomia? Yeah, it was the.
Yeah.
It was the Golden Conifer colours, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was I think that was the first time that the fillies really took hold of the race.
It was, yeah.
We'll
Since
talk-
we've done
look,
6 of the last 10.
We'll talk about the Arc. It's one of the strongest trend races all of the year. But at the moment, David Manouzier, British trainer, and Oliver Pellier. Was Pellier on Solomia?
Oliver
I think he
Pellier.
might have been. Olivier Pellier. What did I call him? Oliver.
Oliver.
Good old Oliver. I'm looking at your hair, you see, and thinking
Well,
of
don't
nice
turn
one.
this on me.
He's gone well clear, and this is a trainer with. In fact, has he won this race, Manouzier? Was this the one?
Yeah, he won it wonderful tonight.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
And these are owners that have backed him. This was a very good 2-year-old for them, and has gone well clear of a far
Stretching him out.
horse.
It's quite interesting. Emily Dickinson was
signs.
very well backed before the off.
Was she?
but she'd never run on soft ground before. And
You
by the bar
have to
week,
think
1 mile
she's going to be
6.
fine. Everything about her looks like plod, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Sorry, Aidan. That's me and Aidan falling
You're
out again.
getting stuck into him. Very
That's not a
elegant,
bad
it's
thing.
keen there, Dave, early on.
Which is something of a surprise. She'll be fine on the soft ground because when her and Dave had their ding dongs, when she was at her very peak. It's a bit of a sad story, really. Very elegant. The Aussies are looking at us all, going, "What? Wasn't Melbourne Cup winner not winning? Running the Arc or
Yeah,
whatever."
it's silly, isn't it?
Lots been said about
Massively,
that, hasn't it?
yeah.
It's a bit of a silly ballot system, but with the way it is with the tote over there and stuff, it's it's kept the racing going. So
If she doesn't win, that debate will just end, though, won't it? Really? Because
Yes.
if she's not winning this, she's not going close to winning.
But you would argue that the preparation has been pretty messed up. I mean, Frankie was going to ride her in the Arc, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
Mark
suppose.
Zara, of course, has come over for the ride, guys. The top Aussie jock. I was going to call him a hoot, but I won't go that far. And bearing in mind that there's a Metropolitan meeting down there at Randwick and Group 1 racing at Flemington this morning, shows you what it means to them all, and they'll all be clued in. So if you're watching from Aussie, say hello. What's this looking out the back? Love Child, another one of Farbara's. Where's Peritan? That's right.
Yeah,
next to
that's all my fancy with this Peritan.
She was a big eye catcher last time, wasn't she?
Yeah, very much so. Just shapes like it's going to be better. 1 mile 6, already won over the trip as well.
Yeah.
Churchill, though, I was concerned about her getting the trip being at Churchill.
Churchill's had a few stayers, Barry. I know he's had
big stayers, aren't they? We'll talk
he's
about
had a
that,
few, yeah.
Luxembourg's a Churchill, isn't he? Of course.
No, he's Camelot.
Camelot.
Oh, it looks like
The Danish Churchill's
I'm
best
hearing
one.
that
He's had
Arsenal
late.
losing
Churchill has
as well.
had a bit of a resurgence because he was really struggling as a side, but he's actually got a few decent ones all of a sudden now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Emily
okay.
Dickinson getting
You are watching
pressed
Racing
a bit.
Post Live this Saturday with myself and the two postmen, Charlie and Robbie Wilders, Barry Orton from Betfair as well.
postmen.
Now, Very Elegant is absolutely cruising, guys.
As is
We're-
Peritan.
We're looking at the Prix Royale, the great Saturday card. She's going to need luck. I tell you what, she wins this if she gets out.
I don't
Yeah,
think
she
she'll
wins
get
if
an
she
out.
gets
Really?
out.
Sheila
Sheila
Ross.
Rose is there.
Sheila
Emily
Ross said,
Dickinson.
guys,
This
come
is
on.
the Lily Langtry form, isn't it? Posty,
Yeah.
come on.
Come on, Sheila
You
Ross.
love a winner
Yeah.
on this show,
Yeah,
Posty.
I do love a winner on this
Yeah,
show.
it's all bit. I'll tell you what, Very Elegant's just all too late. She's got.
Sheila Ross,
she's got out. Sheila Ross.
Go on,
is
Sheila Ross.
a tough old girl, isn't
Go
she?
on.
Let's
All
just
over, lads,
Oh,
all
look
over.
at this. There's the 101 on the screen. Yeah, 102. It's come up.
Lovely
William
jubbly.
Agus
Lovely
then strikes on the
jubbly.
first of the Group 1 races of the weekend. And of course, the colours that were. Who was the one that got beaten by an Able? I always forget her name.
Sea of
See
Class.
the start.
Sea of
Class.
Sea of
Sea of
Class.
Class?
Sea of Class.
Sea of Class, I think it was. Yeah, of course, because
She'd have just got out earlier. She had a bad draw, didn't she? Dropped in.
James
Yeah.
Doyle.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to remember all these seeds.
Would you hold James Doyle to blame for that?
No.
I think it was one of those, just a draw, and like you had to slot in. Pardon?
I was there with some of his pals.
Oh, yeah, you were
talking about
tapping your lip. I thought this-
2019.
yeah.
Have I told you this?
No.
I was there, and some of his pals, the Doyle, were there, and they'd gone over thinking that they were going to win the art, and he had a party lined up in Paris and everything.
Oh, really?
After the race. and they-
Presumptuous.
Oh, should have won, shouldn't she?
Should have won,
Did you
yeah.
have the party or not?
I don't really know. I was going to get involved in it, and
If
I
you're
was
in
like,
Paris, still
Talk to me about when you were thinking Very Elegant wins if she gets out now. As in, I'm
not
intrigued.
now.
No.
You're trying to throw me under the bus here. a bit.
I am just wondering where you thought that was.
Did she
that
go
show.
low at any point, Barry? Very Elegant, or not at all?
Yeah, she did. She traded around the. Again, she traded around the money mark, I think, in running.
What?
Thank you
just let me
very
double
much,
check. No,
Barry.
2.26. Yeah,
Barry has
5-4
made
there.
that up to get you out of a hole. That is not true.
2.26, 5-4. I wouldn't lie to you, Charlie.
No.
There you go. So listen, he's throwing me under a bus with this in running judging. He says I'm the worst in the world. But I thought she had a bad run there, guys. What did you think? For my Aussie friends, of course, out there, I think I was wrong. But listen, this is a lovely animal, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's really
She's got a great attitude.
Really good.
And knuckles down really
When she
well.
won the Lily Langtry,
Yeah.
she got racing a lot further out, didn't she? Because who was it that went clear? It was you get all sorts of sounds on this show.
Yeah,
by
that
the
was,
way, Robbie, actually.
the-
Love chart,
Hugh Morris.
urban artist,
Urban
urban
artist.
artist, yeah. And
Urban
you could have argued Emily Dickinson was on, like, she
She
was
was
a
too
long
far
way
back,
back,
wasn't
yeah.
she?
But
Yeah.
I think that form just confirms that Sheila Ross is better.
The ground might have had something to do with
and
Emily
Possibly.
Dickinson. You might be right.
I was going to say that form also pays another compliment to Free Wind, who is apparently now out for the season.
Oh yeah.
Were you in there with me, Charlie? When it was us two, wasn't it?
her up and she got knocked
Yeah, that was a
The
ridiculous
famous
race.
Lancashire Oaks race.
Happened
Yeah,
quite
and
a
then
bit
Jim
of
Crowley
trouble.
somehow didn't get banned. And I think
Yeah, that was it.
Rav
Crowley,
got
yeah.
banned.
We're cooking with gas here on Racing Post Live. You can tell it's going to be a fun show today. Let's hear about you from the Arc, guys. We'll build them up as much as we can. After the sales race, the next at Newmarket, to the next race after that, we've got plenty of time to chat. I want your naps in for today. Let's have it. Where are you watching the racing? Is this the time of year for you? Is it silly season yet on the flat? Of course, we think it ends, don't we? Usually, no, I say ends. We know when it ends, of course. But it's Futurity Day, November handicap, isn't it? And all that sort of thing. But really, after the Champions Day, it starts to get a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Monday.
You're happy to start looking at the jumpers there. And I don't want to paint you with that brush. When does the point-to-point season start?
November.
Is the fixtures out yet?
Yeah.
Okay. When's my invite?
Oh, you can come whenever, mate. You're right. Well, you're in.
Oh, you put up then.
Yeah.
Fancy
I've
a
never been to a
point-to-point?
point. May as well.
I'd
I've
love
never
to
been.
see Wilders at a
May
point
as
to
well.
point. Get
Well,
you
I think
into
if-
some.
I think in the field.
I think
Have
if
you got
Wild-
some clubber for him?
I've got my own club
I don't
mate.
really go for that, to be honest. I don't go for the old
You
tweed
don't
stuff.
really need to.
Well,
do
what sort of
you?
stuff do you wear when you're out on the field?
Just like jeans and a jacket.
I go like
boots.
toe to toe all.
Wellies on, yeah. You got to. Yeah, I can imagine you're like the city slicker that's gone to the
I'll come in
countryside.
the old hall with the hole
yeah,
and everything. Absolutely. Quite right.
I think if Wilders is going to come, he needs a spring meeting with a bit of sunshine and that. You know, I don't want to put him off too soon.
All right, we love our point-to-point sat there and does, as Charlie said, look, the whiff of jumpers in the air, isn't it? But all about the flat today. And we go to Ascot next, Barry. We're going to have a nice long time to preview this, some old favourites in it. And you think it will be hats off for the King.
Yeah, for the first time. Would it be great to see? But Manican's your favourite at 5.4 in the exchange. King's Lynn is 5.8. 8th is Marvellous. Corker, there was money for that earlier. It's out to 10. Annisdale has been a bit of a springer. That was 14, is into 8.8. Came from the Dark, the same, was 20, is into 12. Ebro River, massive negative for him. Was matched at a low of 7. It's doubled in price, and over that, he's 15.5 now. But I like King's Lynn. I think at the very worst, he'll run into a place here, Robbie, please. So we're going to have, again, 25 quid in the win market and 25 quid in the place market. We're going to set our own mods in the win market, please. We're going to look to back him at 6.0, which is bang on 5-1. But happy to be a price taker in the 3-place market, where he's currently trading a little under 5-4 at 2.18. So King's Lynn for me here. Autumn campaign is what this horse needs. A bit of giving the ground. He's got it. He could have ran the 6 furlong race in which he finished a Dream on this card last year. He was second to it, to Dream. But obviously, last year when he took in the 2 big races at Royal Ascot, he ran well in both of them, was a little bit unlucky in both of them. Had a good early season. He won the Temple Stakes up in Haydock. And I just think that a bit of soft ground, real fast 5 furlongs right up his alley here.
And this is interesting, Barry, because we all go on journeys with his sprinters, don't we? And I'd say this has been a journey for you and King's Lynn, because I remember we used to take him on all the time. His Resolution we used to knock, and here you are. You don't think this has been plotted up, do you?
Yeah, I certainly hope he has. I don't know whether I think he just the good autumn ground, the bit of give in the ground. Around this time of year, he seems to be a different horse as well, and that's what I'm kind of going on here. These are all well exposed, all these horses at this stage of the season, and you can say the same for King's Lynn, but just think there might be a bit of improvement in him, just given the time of year.
He does love Ascot, and you can see him going well. Who's on, of course? Let's have a little look. Oh, yes, it's Probit, isn't it? So Andrew Balding every Saturday seems to have these horses winning on our show, and it looks like he might go off Fav here because Manican's on the drift. Stevie Donahue on that. We're looking to pounce late. What does Posty like?
Yeah, I mean, I came down with Manican. I mean, the ground was a little bit of a concern, but I see they're giving it good to soft, and I presume he wouldn't have ran if it had deteriorated too much. I just think he's a young horse on the up, and thought there's plenty of exposed ones in here. His Ascot form is good. He ran very well at the Royal Meeting behind Latin Lover and won on Shergar Cup Day when Hayley Turner did the steering. So, and I thought the run behind Mitt Bahi was a good one. I think Mitt Bahi runs in the Abbey.
Does tomorrow.
And again, I think he's a very exciting young sprinter.
He is.
And he was almost, I mean, he's a hold-up horse, so he did get check slight in his run at Newbury. Before that, he'd won a listed race well at Doncaster. So, yeah, I just thought he was a really solid favourite in this.
Lack of pace potentially in this.
Potentially, that I suppose that is a concern.
And with the ground yesterday, had a deluge there yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, it can drain quickly at Ascot, and I don't believe there's been too much this morning. I'm not too far as the crow flies from Ascot, and it was a fine morning. So it could be tacky-ish ground. We'll see what it is. It's always slow on the round course. We'll get an idea of the market and what I like after Wilders gives us a pick.
Yeah, saying soft in places. I thought it was going to be like soft heavy looking at the weather forecast. But yeah, I like King's Lynn as well. I mean, he does, as Barry pointed out, it does seem to come alive at this time of year. It's the Group 2 penalty I'm a bit concerned about, £7. If this was take out the penalties, I think he'd probably win this.
I'm going to check on just what you're saying. I'm going to check.
He's got
on
very
how
good
penal
Ascot form, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He was.
And Andrew Baldwin Andrew Baldwin, and I did some analysis about trainers who do well in the autumn, and Rafe Beckett and Andrew Baldwin are miles clear of anyone else. Well, they show massive level stakes profit.
Westover tomorrow in the Arc.
Yeah, I get it.
Good bounty. I get it.
I get it. I'd be slightly concerned about him settling.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, after the King George. Just a mess, wasn't it?
Killed his chance.
All right, I'll complete the tips before we hear from you. Let's hear from some socials guys out there if we get a chance as well. We'll build them up. I like Came From The Dark here for my sins. Danny Tudhope is the icing on a cake. And Barry, you said this is the real steamer in the market, Came From The Dark. For me, he's the class horse in the race. He just needs to put one leg in front of the other again, though.
Yeah, by all accounts, they've done his wind, and he's been a different horse at home for them. Obviously, he'll enjoy a bit of giving the ground as well. 6-year-old now. He seems like he's been around for a lot longer than that, mind. But yeah, the wind up. Although I remember you saying that you don't like them first time after a wind up. You prefer to back them second time after a wind up. So it's interesting that you're putting this one up.
This isn't his first wind up, this horse. I was just checking down his preview. Ed Walker is obviously a columnist at the Weekender, so we speak to Ed a little bit. One of the good talkers of the game out there at the minute. And I've had him on some feature shows, Barry, and he's been tearing his hair out with this chap. But soft ground, fresh is fine. And Danny Tudhope has been booked for a reason here, I think. The last time he ran at Ascot, he was behind Ainsdale in a handicap at this meeting. Him and Ainsdale now find them. Ainsdale was nearly my top pick, actually. Tis Marvellous last year's winner. Marv, brilliant horse, absolutely super horse. But is he just going to find something a bit quick for him now? Of course, Ainsdale was an eye catcher behind Tis Marvellous in the Beverley Bullet last time. So, look, you could make a case for loads of these, couldn't you? Even Anaf down the bottom, the 3-year-old, who's got a bit to find at the weights. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mick Appleby's horse in the shake-up here. It's that time of year, isn't it, where you can whiff it a little bit. Paul Bakewell comes on. You were listening to me out there, Paul, and you say, Ed Walker this week says, Came From The Dark is back. I'm enlightened about that.
Very nice.
Very good, Paul. We like a pun on here, absolutely. Enlightened. Yeah, okay, well, I'm hoping he's going to start.
Has he not won after a wind-up before as well? I feel like there was...
Finished third first time after a wind-up and won on his second run after.
Yeah, I mean...
Which backs up what Barry's saying about...
It is a thing, yeah. It is a thing. He was 14s overnight and this morning. It was just too big.
He was 20 at one stage.
He was what? 20?
He was 20 at one stage on Thursday, yeah. There was money for him real early on Thursday. I suppose people reading that Weekender column, he was quite positive about his chances, Ed Walker.
He is a talented horse. It's a horse that should have maybe won a Palace House, and you know they think he was periphery Group 1, and he's a 6-year-old, and Ed does so well with these. Corker looks like he's quite interesting as well for Carl Burke. Whether it's going to be a bit stiff for him, I'm not sure. And Designer, who comes in here off the back of a good win as well. So they're going down. There's a bit of rain on the camera we saw there on the lens at Ascot. So whether they've had a bit of rain, I don't know. But we'll get you some times in. There's a poll out there, guys, for you on YouTube as well. I'm sure you've seen that. Who wins the Sun Chariot Stakes, our championship Group 1 race here? Saffron Beach, Homeless Songs. Laurel is absolutely fascinating today. Is there a more fascinating runner running anywhere today than Laurel?
Can't be, no. I mean, running a Group 1 on only your third start, it doesn't happen often. I mean, it did happen recently with Hashkoy in the same silks in the St Ledger.
And look what happened there. She ran a belter.
Did run, yeah.
You'd do it with a filly, though, at this time of year, wouldn't you? Like, they're running out of options.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Take the risk. Might nick in third would be a great result.
It's a shot to nothing, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And if she does nick third, that probably could be the best long-term prospect.
I wondered whether making her second start on the all-weather meant they were going to look for something maybe over the winter, but there's not a great deal, as Barry says. You know, you're running out of options now. They obviously... I remember when she won, after her maiden run was making big noises about it and stuff, weren't they? And Barry Mann, who does the Juddmonte horses, he was like, well, you know, she's a proper filly. We've said hold-ups with her. She looked like a monster to me. Interestingly, our handicappers rated the placed horses, despite the fact that she beat what looked like the right horses at Kempton, below their form. So, for me, you can't be tipping horses like that, but I think she's very exciting.
Unless she drifts to a massive price, then you might consider it.
It's Goz and it's Juddmonte.
But it adds some spice to the race, doesn't it?
Big time, big time. She's a good filly's beaten in that race. On very, very bad ground. I've got bad memories, actually, of that race.
But we're not going to have bad ground today. I mean, it didn't look like it, did it?
It looked patchy ground, didn't it, basically? And they didn't want that stands rail, which is good for my pick in the race. Anyway, we'll get to that around about, just under an hour's time. Good to have you along with us this afternoon. Race Post Live in association with Betfair. We've got a multi going for you soon as well. Is Kings Lynn in the multi, Barry?
Yeah, first leg got beat,
Whoa.
Dave, out of sight.
Crystal
Estrella.
God, blimey, yeah, but you tried to knock it out of the park, man, again today.
Ah, well, that's what we do, isn't it? It's for
Exactly.
charity.
Exactly. All right, and of course, just to remind you, it's the Injured Jockey Fund now in the merry month of September. If you're having a good day out there, do give them some love, guys. It's October. Of course it is. Of course we are. Now in October. Oh, great to have Posty with us. All right, and off we go. And off we go. And I was looking for Kane for the Dark coming out for the stalls. It's one of the things that you can often have an issue with, but he's
Doesn't
fine.
seem to be a lot of pace.
That was what we were worried about slightly before. Anaf, who does occasionally get on with it, thankfully up there.
The pinch.
Tis marvellous. I mean, he was never going to leave Marv, but he is up there. And you wonder about the hold-up horses here. Designer's there on the outside. Ebro Rivers there. Ainsdale there as well. Corker in the middle. King's Lynn Barry. He's full of himself.
He travels well. He's sitting in behind the leader. He's getting a nice toe. He's into 4 now in running. 4.6 Mannequin. Push comes to shove now. I like the look of Came from the Dark. The big grey travels well.
And it's Daddy Todd
Yeah,
Hope as well. Does anyone ride the straight course better? Came for the Dark is filling his lungs. We'll look at Mannequin now. Stevie Donahue would have been told not until the last minute, which is coming up. He's got Designer to beat. Posty, you're not going to have a double here, are you?
Go on.
This is ridiculous.
Go on, Mannequin.
Charlie Post, what's this? Anaf's coming back. Ainsdale on the near side.
Go on, Mannequin.
No good for Came for the Dark. Stevie Donahue's got
another
it
one.
absolutely right. Peach, great to see Stevie on a Saturday. Big friend of the show, nicking the Rouse Stakes. And this is a very, very upwardly mobile sprinter, Barry Orr.
Yeah, he really is. He's a Betfair SP of 505. I'm just looking for King's Lynn. He's finished flipping 4th, hasn't he, after looking 1,000,000 to 1. That's me with that horse finished. Hats off to the King anytime you like. You won't be seeing my money ever again. His Marvellous traded at a low of 5. Corker traded. No, didn't trade low at all. There was no real big in-running news there other than Came from the Dark traded at a low of 6.
Yeah.
And Anisdale traded at a low of 4.5.
He's needed it.
It was a
Came for the
messy
Dark.
sort of race,
It
wasn't
was. The fact that Anaf was coming back at the finish having led. I mean, Ainsdale would be your benchmark, I think, because he's run his race. He often does, Ainsdale. Tis Marvellous. Maybe the ground for him, potentially. Method's run on a little bit. It's a messy old race, but the right horse was won according to Charlie Post.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good performance. You know, like very, very professional, good ride from Stevie Donahue, and like I think he's a ready winner of this, like, value for more. Like you say, it's probably a race for a sprint, 5 furlong sprint. They haven't gone crazy fast. He's had to slot in.
Maidan with him. It's what John likes to do.
Yeah, he could easily, couldn't he? I mean, he's a 3. He's had plenty of racing now. Quickly.
He's a good 2-year-old, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
they brought him back very well.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see where they see the future for him. But yeah, there's every reason to think he could go to Maidan potentially.
So Ainsdale in 2nd and Method was in 3rd. Robbie, are you with Barry? Definitely had his chance there, King's Lynn.
King's Lynn, yeah, no real excuses. The £7 probably just anchored him, didn't it?
Okay, so you're...
And also, it was first running quite a while, but I don't know exactly where it
forgiving.
goes on from this, to be honest. Like, there's not that many sort of group race
I'll
sprints
tell you what,
left.
if you're King
Champions,
Charles,
is he
you're
running
probably
on
thinking,
Champions Day?
I've got to have better than that, haven't I, at home?
He's still very. He's finished 3rd in the King Stand though. He's still very good.
Everyone went to Goodwood in the week, Salisbury in the week, didn't they? Not Goodwood, expecting the winner. Was it Educator came back?
Yeah.
He definitely bumped into one there. Educator did.
King's Lynn probably is the Queen's best horse, though, no? Or you can say Reach for the Moon. Ooh. Who would be better at the moment?
Well, the King's best
Just
horse.
sprints. They will beat each other.
Well,
nothing surprises
if
me.
you're watching, Your Majesty, we hope you're enjoying it out there. The future is important for your interests, that's for sure, isn't it? So King's Lynn denied then and looked a little bit thinkery there, didn't he? We must move on. Ascot underway. We'll be back for the Cumberland Lodge, and of course we end the show with those great handicaps right across the track. The Challenge Cup at 3:36. Now we go back to Newmarket, and it's one of these sales races. There's your Betfair SP. You won't beat that anywhere. Mannequin, of course, on top. Well done to John Ryan and the connections. But here comes the sales race. Look, and Ed Walker will be hoping for better luck with not just Amici, but he's got Union Court in there. There's a friend of yours in there, Barry, Prairie Falcon as well, who Tom Siegel's put up. Which way did you want to go in this? And it can be a mixed bag, these sales races.
Yeah, Michi Ross did the show when that won the sales race on the July course earlier on this, or just a couple of weeks ago. It's not a race we covered, but we were covering Haydock, and Ray Dawson was staying down in Newmarket, and we were just wondering why, because he could have rode a winner for his boss up in Haydock Park, but he elected to stay down there, and we know why after that sales race, because he won convincingly. It's a horse that was around 11-4 chance, 8-5 now. So Sky Sail has been well supported with Dougie Costello. That's 9.4. Prairie Falcon is 7.2. 17 Safari Dream. That's a bit of a positive as well. But we're just going to have 25 quid win. Amici, please, here. Robbie. And we're happy to take a price, take 5 there. I can't see him getting much bigger than that. He's drifted out all the way from 11-4. So happy to be a price taker here.
I've got to be honest, Barry, I'm weighing in with you here. I'll get that out of the way straight away. Again, if you read Ed Walker in his Weekender column, he said the handicap, I think he thought the handicap would give him more, actually. He's rated in late 80s, isn't he? He's got Union Court, who's run in some pattern races and hence has that loftier rating. But this is definitely the one, I think, for Ed, and is going pot hunting with this jab. And you can get, as we said at the Curragh last week, Posty, when we covered one over there, they get on this sort of, it's almost like a conveyor belt, isn't it?
Big money.
But big money.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, like for horses that, Amici's he's 88 rated. I mean, he's a nice horse, but he's not like a top notcher, is he? And
Should remind, we've got the Redcar 2-year-old trophy.
Yeah, exactly, which is same sort of thing.
I feel like these races are encouraging the wrong thing, though. They're encouraging just like precocity.
Hello, Rob Way. Here we go.
Aren't they? They're not encouraging, the middle distance. I think these races are part of the problem.
Oh.
Of the move away from stamina to speed.
Okay, all right. We're going to build.
Do you not agree?
All right, Robbie, turning up to the party. Here comes Darren Walker. Right, okay. This is what I wanted to hear. Well, Robbie, you're going to have to gather your argument for that because I'm coming back to you.
Well, I have a thing.
Yeah. Come on, let's be eloquent about this. Darren Walker, one of our regulars. Darren, good afternoon. He says, Racing Post. Okay, Westover, Irish Derby winner, to be Al Hakim, is that Rouget's horse, and Torquato Tassa, who I reckon is going to make a lot of people's top threes. Barry, when the draw came out for the Arc in 18, Torquato Tassa, last year's shock winner for some, of course. Frankie Dettori does the steering. What's the betting? He tries to do a golden horn and stay all that way wide. He's surely going to do that, isn't he?
I'd say, well, obviously you'll discuss it with with connections, but he's currently around 13-2. He's 6 or 7-1. He's fluctuating in and around there. Favourite's relatively strong. Luxembourg, it has to be said. Then Alpinista is 9-2 from 6. She's really, really steady out. Onesta, an 8-1 chance. Bedini in there with Christoph Soumillon is 13-2.
You've got to. I must admit, Barry, when this was all kicking off yesterday with Christoph Soumillon and the elbowing affair, I must admit I saw a couple of tweets from you come up.
No, I couldn't believe it. I was watching it live at the time and I saw it and I thought, Jesus, what's going on there? And then saw the rerun and it would just flabbergast me. What a stupid thing to do to endanger a fellow jockey like that. No respect for his profession. I don't care what anyone says, it was intentional. Lucky Ross Ryan didn't break his neck. I know he's come out and he's been really contrite and you've got to mark him up for that. And he held his hands up, but 2 months for what he did is just not enough. It sends out the wrong messages. He should be banned for a year, 2 years, maybe even life. It's absolutely disgraceful what he did, endangering a fellow professional like that. And it shows a lack of respect for his fellow jockeys. It shows a lack of respect for his profession and for owners and for who he's riding for as well. It's just these guys think they can take the law into their own hands and do what they like. He's an elder statesman of the weigh room now. It's just not good enough. Sets a dreadful example.
Strong from the big hitter then about the Group 3 yesterday at Saint-Cloud, of course. If you haven't seen it, go to the Racing Post website. It's all there, documented. I'll tell you what, the guys on the news desk yesterday, you sit in front of them.
Yeah,
Jimmy
they seem
Pugh,
pretty stressed,
he was great. He was great. I mean, it's Arc weekend. We've got a lot of content.
Yeah,
to
it's
put
not
in
what
the
you
paper
need,
for
really,
you.
because I used to do those digital manager shifts, and you got enough on the Friday anyway about something like that happening. That's one of the biggest stories we've seen in, probably the biggest story since the Queen died.
Usually I go over to them after doing an interview with someone like Aidan O'Brien. Lads who'd like the audio, you might want to pick something out and do a story for it. And they'll lap it up. Don't come near us, Stacey.
Got enough on, mate.
Don't come near us. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
How long do you reckon he should have been banned for?
Well, we'll get to it. We got
Okay.
look, that was the hors d'oeuvre for the pièce de la résistance, which is coming on this. All right, understood.
We'll have a
After
chat
the
later.
206, let's get some socials up though. Okay, Tom Barras brings it back to this race. Prairie Falcon goes close. Form that air run is working out well. Isn't this the horse that you put up at Glorious Goodwood, Barry? Prairie Falcon.
Yeah, he is, Dave. Yeah. I couldn't. I just don't fancy him in this. Listen, this is the sort of race any of these can take a massive step forward. You know, they're relatively unexposed. This is for horses that were in Book 2 and 3 in Tattersall. So it's a different makeup of field than the one that Amici beat in the previous sales race, the Patterson sales race. So it's a better class of horse in this. And Prairie Falcon, he was a horse I was with in Goodwood. You're bang on. He ran well, but I'd like to see Amici win as well for connections. I know Lawrence Bellman. He puts a lot into the game.
He does.
Really nice man, and you'd wish him. No one could ever begrudge him any success he has.
Yeah, absolutely. He always has very good horses, especially with Ed Walker, and he's had a lot of success as well. But you're disagreeing with that because the first head-to-head's on. You like Prairie Falcon?
I like Prairie Falcon. Yeah, I mean, he to be honest, when I looked at the race after Dex, he was quite a lot bigger than this.
So in the car on the way up today, Posty said to me, I was doing a preview and I put up Prairie Falcon. He's half in price. I went, Tom Siegel's putting him up. That'll be why then.
But I mean, Redcar on his penultimate start, he got no run. I mean, he basically finished on the bridle. He was turned out literally 3 days later and won up at end. And Ramazan ran well behind Galeron in that sales race that you were on about at the Curragh. And William Buick, I just thought was interesting. I think he's 3 from 6 from Michael Dodds. I just thought it was interesting that he was taking the ride on this horse. So, it's a race with horses that are only of a certain amount of ability, really. I just thought he was sure to run a big race in this. Just going back to what Wilders said, I mean, the only thing I would argue at this race, it does give people that buy cheaper yearlings in the Grand Spank.
Is there a Just Frank in the race, Robbie?
I don't know, mate. It's a very, 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 very hard race.
You think the market might be showing you, mightn't you? I don't know. Sky Sale's interesting, isn't it? No real springers, though. Or maybe the Millmans have got one, have they? Have they got
quite
one?
A good
They've
season.
got 2,
they've got a couple
I've not
in here,
seen James Millman in quite a while.
He was in last week. He was in last week. Telling us all his horses weren't going to win any races.
Geezer in ages.
Record-breaking year.
The only fella who's never heard of Uber.
I know, absolutely.
Or the single Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z. Never heard of it.
And he called me off his WhatsApp as soon as he got to the building. He wouldn't call off his own tariff. Would you believe that?
What about Coolio dying during the week?
Yeah, sad news, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Good,
poor Coolio.
good
It was
performance on
awful,
Big
wasn't
Brother
it?
back in 2009.
Absolutely awful.
I heard he was touring with Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer as well.
Oh, yeah. Nostalgic.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Gangster's Paradise makes you feel slightly old.
Yeah.
Yeah, or lets you know how old we are.
Yeah.
In
Well, I
Wilders'
remember
case.
Gangster's Paradise, mate. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah, of course you do. It was a classic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you ever have the ringtone? I bet you did.
No, I never really liked hip-hop that much.
You could picture him with the ringtone, couldn't you? Walking through Borough Market.
I'm not a hip-hop man, mate. I prefer more sort of melancholy music.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Has he given us a selection yet or not?
Well, he's told us what he can't stand about the race.
I've been trying to put off giving a selection.
This is, and in fairness, this is a very important
I don't know
point.
if the graphics popped up, but I said Sky Sale.
For the Tregonings.
But honestly, I will not be having a penny on this horse.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because a lot of people shy away from these races where often there are a lot of good things in them. And, as in on form. I don't mean type of animal and all that sort of thing. But Amici now looks like it's hardening all the time, Barry Orr, for the 206 at Newmarket.
Yeah, 3.7 from 5, so 11 to 4 from 4 to 1 on the exchange. Now, really strong. Perry Falcon and Union Court both 9.4, 10 Sky Sale, and it's 17 bar them. So just loading up now. They're loading up quite fast, but really strong Amici now.
All right, good stuff. So this is the Sales Pot Hunter. We've had a couple of favourites going already. What's this mucking around in the gates?
Whoa.
Is that the Tony Bloom colours?
Yeah.
Is it? Is it
George
Yarba? Very similar to the Bloom colours. That's a nightmare to pronounce that, isn't it?
Yeah,
George
Yarba, yeah.
George Yarba.
Jimmy Quinn will not be liking this, I can assure you.
Who did Jimmy Quinn have his moment on the sun in? It was Lethal Levi for Carl Burke, wasn't it? So they're going.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going
July
for the
course.
Yeah. So they're going for the light. Yeah. So it was great to see that, wasn't it, at the July meeting? So will we see a surprise here? Who are you going for, guys? Let's have a little bit of a look in the chat. Which I'm okay. Let's have a look. I've got a great big poll at the moment over the chat, so I can't be as lot. But Chris Tim says Amici to win and Sky Sale each way. Good luck, Chris, out there. As we blanket across, and I remember Roshi Murphy saying to me earlier in the year when the 2-year-olds come out in the big field like this, like rabbits going all over the place in the headlights. Not such a bad break, but very annoyingly for our commentator Robbie Wilders, they're breaking into 3 groups.
Don't make me commentate on this. Yeah? If we're going to do a commentary, give me a 5-runner middle distance race.
No, all right, we might try that. If
I mean, honestly.
Enough. All right, okay, but it looks like King of Ithaca is sort of out the back. What's this then leading at the moment? Again, these are just a nightmare, aren't they? Is it Nacho Daddy up the front at the minute? I'm looking for the big hopes, which is what we should be doing. Safari Dream is going well for the Millmans. Oh, it'd be insufferable, wouldn't he, if this wins? Amici's bang there then. Right, we're going into the dip pretty much now. How will he handle it? Let's find out. What's this in the orange?
He handles it well.
The Thames Boatman is there as well. Is this it, the Thames Boatman? What's this on the stands roll? This is the one that played up. This is Jimmy Quinn coming with a run. Oh, is he going to get through? We're at the third marker. Amici now hits the driving ground. This is class rising to the fore. We're probably looking at a very decent horse here for next year, guys, because I don't think he handled it that well all the ground, and he's seen them off very, very well indeed. 15 was second. That was, looking down, I'm in market order, that was California Gem, George Bowie. Also got loads of experience and has finished really, really well. Mixed bag there, guys. But Barry, on target for the Injured Jockeys Fund.
Yes, he's done it well, Dave. I thought he handled the dip okay. I didn't see any real problem with him. What one ran well? The Georgiava ran well.
Yeah.
That traded at a low of 2.58. And the other one that ran well there was
Uffington.
Uffington, yeah, that was it. That that didn't trade low at all. You sure that was the right one?
I think that was.
Let's see a replay here.
Yeah.
Anyway, your favourite out of Betfair SP at 3.64. So we smashed up at the finish really, and his class came to the fore.
And if you were reading the weekend up this week, not only getting Tom Siegel, not only getting Paul Keeley, of course.
Not only getting Robbie Wilders.
No, yes, of
He'll
course.
probably get a Commonwealth Cup quote, I would imagine.
Look, that's a long way to go, Barry, isn't it? But I would imagine Ed in his column on Tuesday will be saying to us, that it's so valuable in these races, I had no option but to plot this way.
Yeah, it could potentially. Like the form of the race on the July course has worked out okay because Eddie's Boy, like the second hadn't ran since, but Eddie's Boy had won a Group 3 in France by 6 lengths. So yeah, there was a bit of substance to that form, and he looks a really nice type, him now, and he's going the right direction. And like we said, you'd wish his owner, Lawrence Spellman, the best luck in the world. He's got a nice one. That's probably, without a shadow of a doubt, it's the best horse he's ever owned.
Well, certainly probably the most valuable now. He's sold a few, hasn't he, as well? By Gutafan out of a reckless abandoned mare. So it's speed. And
Cost at the sales?
Good question.
15.5 grand.
Wow.
Well bought.
Wow. There you go. Because the pedigree, it's actually, the dam is a half sister to Came from the Dark.
Is that right?
Yep. So Ed knows what he's doing, doesn't he? And pot hunting all the way.
And so he's won. Well, he won 57 grand before today, and add on another 81 on top of that. So he's nearly won 140 odd grand for his troubles.
Are there more coming? Is there another one at Donny or anything like that? There probably isn't there? I would imagine these sales races. I don't really know, but they are. You get.
We had one at Donny at the Ledger meeting. I mean,
that's the big one, isn't it? I think.
And like you say, we've got the 2-year-old trophy later on.
Yeah, which of course, lovely to pop up to Redcar. Good card at Redcar. They've got Gilsborough Stakes and some good horses up there. A Dubai Poet, I thought had a good chance of that if you're looking to play elsewhere as well. A reminder that France is going on as well. But we must move on. Absolutely, what is coming up at Paris next? We've got Denmark, haven't we? The 2-year-old running in the sales race over there. I asked Aidan about that yesterday. I said, this is an interesting point. A lot of people thought he might rock up in the Beresford. A lot talked about the Easy Nace winner. Let's get a social up before I do this. Oh, okay. Back we go. 250 for Denmark. They fancy it. He was bought at Derville, basically, so that's why he's going to have a sales race there. Drawn in 4. Aidan was very happy when I told him that. Alan Fox, then. Torquato Tasser on top. This looks solid, Alan. Alpinista and Westover. So you're not worried about the wide draw. Let's concentrate a bit more on Torquato again. Last year's winner. A lot of people thought it was a fluke. I remember Maddie Plough put it up at a massive price amongst some other judges.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Well,
and it was, of course, Alpinista form last year, so Alpinista's in there as well. Now, Frankie seems to have been putting in a lot. I mean, it's been well publicised, isn't it? If you're on social media, you've seen a lot of Frankie going over to Germany to ride at work. He had the chance of Very Elegant. They probably worked out maybe she might not get in. Frankie then jumped to Allegiance. A lot of people, and this is one for Barry, this, because he loves this sort of thing. I know he said that he'll ride next year. But if he wins the Arc tomorrow on Torquato Tasso, do you think? He's the winning most jockey of all time in the Arc. So it's not like...
So where are you going with this?
Well, would this be
Frankie's...
retirement.
Could this be going out on a high,
No
potentially?
way in the world.
I don't see
Don't
it.
think so?
In the world. No way. He's fit. I'd say he's too hungry to retire. Looks like he's gonna do a tour of the world before he retires. He's gonna get plenty. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
He's also got an unreal lifestyle, hasn't he? Because he doesn't have to just slog day in and day out. He can just take weeks off here and there.
Cherry picks his rides a bit.
Yeah,
it's some year for Frankie, isn't it? If you think back to Royal Ascot.
I don't know why he'd stop. As long as he's physically able, I don't know why he'd stop, because it's a cash cow. He's got the best of everything, hasn't he?
He's got a very good point there. There probably is a almost like it's almost like a victory parade, isn't there?
You get appearance money at tracks all over the world.
Yeah.
Because he brings crowds.
There you go. All right, we love him.
He loves the
Absolutely. We're lucky
attention,
to
doesn't
still
he?
have him about.
And he's getting to this time of year where he loves a knee Breeders' Cup and all of that coming up. I mean, it's
Sun, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
Japan,
tale
Hong
of two
Kong.
halves for Frankie. The middle of it was not great for him, was it?
no, but I mean, he's that's been his sort of career, hasn't it? You know, it's been a.
There can't be a jockey with a better lifestyle than him.
So, Alan, Torquato Tasso on top. So you're hoping keep it wide, get in there, love the ground, come over the top late. Alpinista and Westover, I think a lot of people are going with that as well. Let's hear your 1, 2, 3s, guys, out there for the Arc tomorrow at 3:05. Tommy Orr says every time I see Tommy come up, you know what?
Is he related to Bazza?
Well, everybody asks this. It turns out he's not.
So I'm not
good on you.
nice to meet you, Tommy.
Get Shirty. Shuri, we've got up there, but I think it's Get Shirty, isn't it, for David O'Mara? Should go close in the 2:25 and Ascot, which is very close on my agenda. But while we're looking at the next race at Paris going on, where we've got, of course, the Cadran coming up, this Christophe Soumillon yesterday, you were one of the first people I thought of about this. I was waiting to interview Aidan, as I keep name checking on this, but he obviously had the winner of that race. And that's really what I'm looking at. And I could see it all kicking off. And I look back and I'm like, what? You had to look twice at it, didn't you? Now, a lot of people have said to me, if that's at the jumps, that almost looks like a soft unseat, some people were saying to me. But tell us why that's pretty much nonsense.
Well, I was saying to you on the car on the way down, because most flat jockeys ride with their toe in the iron, so literally it is like just their big toe in contact with the stirrups. So the point of balance is minimal, but it's supposed to give them a better feel of a horse's action. It came in from America, where whenever, I think, well, Frankie and those sort of guys were the first ones that sort of brought it in. And he'd have been riding in really light boots, almost non-existent, and stirrups that would be probably about, you know, that wide where his toe would be balanced on. So realistically, it's not going to take much of a sideways shift to unlodge Rosarine, you know. So, and yeah, well, Soumillon did with sticking the old elbow out, and I mean then when you heard then the horse jinked, and that's why he made contact with him, which I thought was absolute nonsense, if I'm honest. But yeah, from a point of view of how much sideways momentum you're going to need to unbalance someone.
Any slight touch will make him go.
Within reason, especially if they're not expecting, without being rude, if you're Rosser, it's a bit different when you're in a finish and you're going to expect that maybe the horse is going to move around a little bit underneath you, but you're basically going in a straight line, so you're looking forward, and then from nowhere you get something that nudges you off of where your sort of centre of balance is going to be, and it's just caught him completely unawares.
What could have happened? I mean, we got lucky with this, didn't we?
Yeah, massively. I mean, this was... I was going to say that, excuse the pun, but car crash, you know, scenario, because, I mean, I suppose, worst case, when he, like Barry said, when he flipped over on his head as a point of pivot almost, it's horrendous to think what could have happened, and definitely, if you're going at 35 mile an hour and you hit the ground on your ankle like that, it'd be so easy to break your ankle or your leg. It
was all dealt with very quickly, seemingly, by the French stewards. I imagine it would have taken ages over here, wouldn't it? But a 60-day ban.
Well, over here, it would have been referred on, wouldn't it?
Straight away.
There would not have been a decision made on the day.
Now, we've got something called the Up to Triomphe, and we've got something called Verdini coming up. Yeah, and you fancy Verdini?
Yeah, I think he's going to go well, yeah. I think he's going to like it.
What does it say for the game if Christophe goes and wins tomorrow?
It's not a good message, is it? I can't believe they've come to that conclusion so quickly.
You can't ban him before then.
So say Rosarine ended his career, like would they have come to a conclusion quickly?
Well, that's
that way.
I mean, I get the argument.
You know, we're going back to Freddie now, aren't we?
I get the argument about whether they made the decision about his punishment too quick, but I just don't see a scenario where you can bring a ban in immediately. So this is a bit of balance, isn't it?
A lot of people are saying, hang on a minute, we've just seen a jockey push one off in Bermuda who's got a life ban. And that happened to be this week, didn't it? Like, weird. The greatest game of all this. But
But there has to be a fair and proper process.
You think it's the right ban, don't you?
Well, I mean, actually, Dave Lowe in the production team was saying it to me, and I said, yeah, and maybe on reflection I was being a bit hasty about that. But I mean, at the time I thought 2 months was significant. Yeah, I did. I mean, certainly in this sort of jurisdiction of racing, a 2-month ban is a pretty huge thing, bar for a drug offence or something like that.
Everyone should have the right to appeal,
right? But yeah, you've got a ban can't be brought in immediately because there might be some mitigating circumstance that we're all missing which I don't believe for 1 second. And so, of course, he has to have a right to appeal. So that is why jockey suspensions in this sort of in Europe come in a fortnight after when the offence happened.
So what you're saying is, where do we draw the line?
Yeah,
on
I mean,
that?
so you're just going to say, okay, well, that's it. Give us your licence. You're done for the time being. I just don't see that being able to happen.
So it's interesting.
But also the ban, they're talking about it October and November. There's nothing really on. Like, surely it needs to happen at an important time of the year where he's going
to miss Champions Day. He's going to miss Champions Day,
Breeders'
Cup, Melbourne if he was going up there.
I don't know. No, probably not quite.
So you think that's not a bad time to be banned? Then?
Well, no, I'm not suggesting it. Barry, we can hear you in the background.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I just, my feelings on it. I feel pretty strong about it. It was a cowardly act what he did. I know what Charlie's saying. He unbalanced very easy because it's the last thing you're expecting as a fellow jockey to elbow you off the horse, isn't it? Like they're riding literally just with toes in stirrups.
And that's Barry, just to jump in, that's not me justifying what Christopher Suleiman did or making light of it. It was horrendous what he did, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying to get dislodged would be easy.
No, I understand that, Charlie. Yeah, but we'd be having a very different conversation here if, God forbid, what happened to Freddie Talicki when he got his fall was to happen to Ross Ryan yesterday.
No, you're completely
right. What you're talking about, you could be assault. It is basically like you're elbowing someone. Like he's got tightened up. You're racing like that, and it's what Ross Ryan was doing was just tighten them up probably a little, which you're perfectly entitled to do, Charlie. Any racing that I've seen, you see it all the time in Ireland. They ride tight. They're getting in. They're tightening up another guy. But for a fellow jockey to reach over and elbow you like that and unshift you, it's only by luck, not by design, that Ross Ryan got up and walked away from that. It would be a very different conversation if he was badly injured. Yeah,
but it's very interesting to hear from a jockey coach's point of view exactly why that is. Like I say, a lot of people are looking at it and saying, "Oh, that the jumps is, No,
and do you know what? Sometimes you have to kind of reflect. And maybe me saying that 2 months was okay. Actually, on reflection, maybe that isn't the case. Maybe it should have been. This should be looked at more. So, but all I'm saying is the dislodging would take next to nothing when you're riding that sort of scenario.
And he shouldn't be banned immediately.
I stand
by that. He should. Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't be banned immediately. Definitely not. And it needs looking into. I would also be fascinated to know if there's something has gone on during the early part of that race. I mean, I cannot see the mental process that says, do you know what, I'm going to stick my elbow in.
The greatest riders France has ever produced, that's for sure.
And probably in the world.
Something got under his skin beforehand.
But that's what I mean. I can only imagine something must have happened either early in the race or in the weighing room or beforehand, because I just don't see, surely someone doesn't get provoked like that for no reason.
Unless you are as mad as a box of frogs.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what Sumian's like. Does he seem like a bit of a nutter?
I've not really spent any time with him, to be honest, but I mean...
Well, we talked to Oshin about him.
Because most people wouldn't be capable of that sort of behaviour, would they? There must be something like ingrained inside him to have that.
Sometimes, Robbie, because they're the elder statesmen, there's a sense of entitlement with some of those older jockeys. We saw it last year with Frankie Dettori when he barracked Dylan Brown McMonigal all the way from the race course into the weigh room and continued it in the weigh room.
Yeah.
There is a sense of entitlement with them, as if, like, what are you doing? I'm a senior jockey, you shouldn't be doing that.
That's just a weird one.
Historically, that's always been dealt with within the confines of the weigh room. Charlie would be able to talk on this better than I would, but I think those days are long gone now, and rightly so. All right, okay, we're having our say on it here. We'd like to hear from you guys out there as well, even if it's in chat. We'll try and build it up as well. We're getting some more ARC 1, 2, 3s are coming in left, right and centre. We can see more viewers joining us as well. Welcome along. It's time now to hone in on the 225 at Ascot Barrett. It's the Cumberland Lodge. And if you like, Kyprios, the only guy that's got really close to him in the Irish St Ledger last time was Hamish. Here he is at odds against in the Cumberland. Yeah, he's been bet at a high at 2.86, very few miles on the clock, but when he puts it in, he's always he's a really decent horse. He traded at 2s on in the Curragh to beat Kyprios in running in the Irish Ledger. Obviously, that didn't happen. He's beat by the best there in Europe, in the world, actually, Kyprios. So no shame in that. He's 2.16 now. He's been really strong. 6.6 crest at third round 10. High definition opened at 3. He's out to 11. 10.5 gets shirty, and it's 19 bar. I like the 3-year-old crest that. He wasn't beaten that far in the Hampton Court over 10 furlongs, but this is more like his trip. We saw him last day in the August Stakes in Windsor. He absolutely danced in. He won 6.5 lengths on good to soft ground. He gets £6 weight for 8. And just at the prices, he's 6.6, Robbie. We're going to back him in the win only market here, please. and we're going to have 25 quid win Crest at 6.6. Hamish is going to be hard to beat, but he has just a history of trading short, Dave. He's one of those a couple of times, like Two's on last day, trade at 25 to 1 on one day in Newbury. A horse called Triomphe beat him, so there's probably no shame in that either. But he has traded short a couple of times in running and got chinned. So might just be a little thing there with him to watch. I wouldn't be a better at the price he is now at around the 11 to 10 mark. I'm happy to back Cresta at 6.6.
I asked Aidan yesterday when I was chatting to him what shout. I said, it's an interesting run here. Why is he? He just said, well, we just thought the race would suit him and he's in a good place. I don't think he thought he could beat Hamish, that's for sure. But there is, I did the trends on this and had a little look at the race, and I'm with Robbie and I'm with Barry. I will get to posting and say, I thought the two horses that could win this, I thought that the danger to Hamish was definitely Cresta, who Bruce put up when he sat in for me on What a Shout as his nap, and it danced, as Barry said, at Windsor. You like it as well. It's one of your anti-postman picks.
Yeah, I put him up at 7s, put up third round at 10 to 1. The start of the week, the crux of my analysis was Secret State was like 5 to 4 favourite. He wasn't going to run because he's declared for another race. And then Hamish was there. But I know Hamish has the best form that Kyprios run, but I think he's best fresh. Like his record after layoffs is excellent, and then he doesn't
Kempson, you think about
to step forward on his next 2 or 3 runs. So I don't know. I mean, the ground is in his favour for sure. If he runs up to his best, he'll win.
If he'd have run.
Yeah, if he runs up to his best, he'll win. But I think Cresta, as you say, very good at Windsor last time.
Yeah.
Likes a bit of ease. Third realm, loves a bit of cut as well, and he's a bit in and out. But when he's good, he's very good third realm.
Yes. All right. Okay. So what about you, Posty?
I can see the case for Cresta, but I came down with Get Shirty, to be honest. I thought, he ran all right.
You're with the socials.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
oh, okay.
He ran all right in the Doncaster Cup. Maybe didn't quite stay. Dropped back down to this triple suit and well. He ran a cracker in the Ebor from a wide draw behind Trawler Man. He's only beat 3 1/4 lengths, and before that he was a good winner of the Old Newton Cup. And again, he'll love a bit of cut in the ground, and he's a Ascot winner, of course. So back at the Royal Meeting.
This often goes to one of the older horses, but 3-year-olds do win it indeed. In fact, who won it last year? Can you remember? Anyone tell me? Silence on the gallery.
Oh,
it was Huckham.
A million miles away, yeah.
It was Huckham. Huckham. All right, they're in, or pretty much in. So get ready then. Cumberland Lodge time on the round course. We're expecting to see the mud flying. Good luck, whichever way you play in the 225 at Ascot here on Racing Post Live, where you get your best raucous reaction. Of course, if you want to know where your money went, we'll tell you right after the race. And Candleford, the Royal Ascot winner, hasn't been plain sailing for him, has it, since in the Haggis team? He's right at the back with you, Glenn. Seems to turn up every time we do. What else have we got? He's always there.
I think he's been on every show I've ever appeared on.
I wonder whether this is going to be his last year, because he literally is there. You just turn the page, there's you, Glenn. And he's getting what he likes as well. Now, here, Robbie, let's stick with you, because Hamish also stays further.
Third round's taken it up now.
Are you happy with that or unhappy?
I don't know. I don't really like making the run at Ascot particularly, because it is a real test, isn't it?
I'm very happy with Cresta.
Yeah.
Very
a bit
happy.
fresh Cresta, is he?
He just needs to get him in a little bit, doesn't he?
He's a keen goer, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a bit keen now.
Yeah, he's got the hood on, isn't he? He's tracking high definition. Get Shirty, probably the box seat.
Yeah, lovely. Danny Todope on board, so we're happy out there.
He's a muck sweat as well, Hamish, as well, Barry. All right, we've seen it after 3 furlongs. What's the exchange saying?
Yeah, he's even stayed. Well, he's 208 now, so he's not that far off his Betfair SP. 6.4 Cresta, 10 third round, same price, high definition, and it's 15 Get Shirty.
Love it. All right, then, there we are. Look, we come out of the Swinley bottom. What a great course this. They'll be warming up for the jumpers soon at Ascot. Champions Day still to come, which we will be covering for you, of course, on the 15th of October here on Racing Post Live. But at the moment, it's third realm then. Beat Adayar, didn't he? You remember in the Lingfield Derby trial.
And Kyprios.
Kyprios, he has got a win. Well, Kyprios was not the right Kyprios there.
Nah.
Oh, don't mention Scope. The poor real fated Scope is miles to follow this year. What a year.
What form that
for
is.
Beckett. Okay, all right. High definition then. What are we going to see from him today? Of course, he was just nutted in a Tats Gold Cup. I always feel sorry for High Definition because he's such a talking horse, wasn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He hasn't really gone
they
his
have
way.
Loads of those horses like that.
It's Wayne Lorden on today.
It did seem like they're sort of run out of ideas in running.
They're going to try and launch him. Okay, then, at the moment, let's have a look who's just still there. Farnham, of course, massive throw the dice from John Butler. He's going all right. Good show, one of the outsiders. He's not done with. But Hamish, pole position. Look at Cresta.
Travelling very well.
He's got the target on his back. Probus done everything right. Candleford is loving the return under
ain't
Stevie
got
Russell
Donovan.
Ryan
Can he
did
get
nothing
there?
wrong in the one in front, is he?
Will now Hamish has got. I mean, this is Hamish's to lose now. Crester's now filling up, and he does run
Go
on.
away, Hamish.
Third round.
Third round misfinding.
This is like Stradivarius in the Gold Cup,
Go
and
on,
Crester's
Cresta.
on the inside.
He's not
and
gonna find
got the
much,
weight.
though. He's not gonna
Is he
find
gonna
much.
find?
Go on,
Let's get
Cresta.
it. Looks like Hamish is just going to get the business done here. Candleford's running well as well. Good shout, Rob. You've got the Cresta. I mean, the place money's in the bag, but Hamish is just that little bit too classy. Cresta's run a career best in second. Candleford back to the scene of his best crime this summer, and he's run on really strongly, just seeing third round the front runner out of fourth. Really enjoyed that, Barry. Classy winner.
Yeah, he always travelled well. The winner didn't trade any higher than his pre-race 2.88 in running. Cresta hit a low in running of 3.0, which is the 2-to-1 mark. But and third round, who got a good ride from Russell Ryan, hit a low of 4.3 in running versus Betfair SP at 13.5. Candleford stayed on late for third place, didn't he? He hit a low of 3.15, would you believe, in running. But yeah, your winner, he's the class horse in the race. Betfair SP at 2.16. Cresta's run well. And a horse to look forward to next year, I think, Cresta.
Great ride for Pat Dobbs. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that. Yeah, the Meads have got one. You wouldn't be surprised to see him travel, would you? And good to see Candleford come back because it was so impressive in that handicap at Royal Ascot that I'm sure they'll be plotting maybe backwards from a
What
race
do you
there.
do at high definition now? He's gone, isn't he? They've tried.
He's never gone on soft
with
ground.
Hurdling, I'd say, yeah.
Oh, fancy a little go, dear.
What I will say is, you might laugh. Should they not have chucked Hamish in the Arc? Like that sort of race is perfect for him.
Well, they were considering.
Were they
If
considering?
you watch my interview with Aidan O'Brien,
Was it?
ding ding, ring the bell. I'm going to keep saying that this afternoon. But sometimes
No.
Dave Orton does have to pinch himself. But we did talk about Kyprios and the fact
No,
he
I'm
might have
talking
gone to the Arc.
No.
About Hamish, mate.
Yes, listen, but there's the correlation, right? They thought about Kyprios for the Arc. Okay, because he's got. They do say that stayers have these ridiculous finishing splits, don't they? If you look back at the Gold Cup, it was some of the fastest final furlongs of the meeting, which is weird because they're running over 2 mile 4, isn't it?
Because they go slow early.
But they also just build into it.
Yeah.
Order of St George was the same, who finished third. Was it second or third?
third,
Found.
or Highland Rail second.
When he had the 1, 2, 3, didn't he?
Yeah.
So they thought about it with Kyprios. But they're just
Again,
seeing the
talking
ball
about
big
Hamish,
with him, aren't they? Can I give you a quote, please, on our first race at Ascot, the Rail Stakes? Very gutsy ride by Stevie on Manican. The ground was going to be against us, so better on quick ground. Could be the best I've trained, says John Ryan. And we're going to go to Dundalk for a Group 3 later in the month. So he is getting his pounds of flesh, isn't he, out of Manican, who's a lovely horse.
Robbie also meant about Hamish running the Arc.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
wasn't the most outlandish thing you're saying.
I mean, this is coming from a fellow who said he thought he wouldn't win because he wasn't good fresh. He needed to be fresh, but I mean, he was obviously in crazy good form there. He's better at 6 now.
Pat Dobbs was just...
That's a great Group 1 style win.
2 from 2
Pat
on him,
Dobbs
isn't he?
was
I
on
think.
the bridle there, wasn't
Pat
he?
Dobbs on Hamish.
I love to see that. It's
Yeah.
just what do they find? And when you're on a Fav as well, who enjoyed that out there, guys? I bet you on Hamish. That
Where
was
would you
lovely
run
watch,
Hamish
wasn't it?
next season? 'Cause I think he's a
Well,
Group
he'd be
1
a
horse,
7-year-old, wasn't he? He's a couple or
it's
something.
a very likely race.
The problem is he's obviously got... He needs soft ground, doesn't he? Because he's
needs
got
soft ground.
issues, isn't he?
The options are limited, yeah.
They were going to run him in the E-ball, wasn't it, off top weight? And he would have... I think all the judges were getting ready to put him up.
Oh, really?
So, and they just pulled him out. It was... what was the horse?
I think there's
Gassy.
a massive race in this horse on soft ground.
But where?
Yeah, well, something like King George on heavy.
Aintree. High definition should be going to Station Yard. If you're listening,
I think there's more chance they go to Joseph O'Brien or something like that. But
yeah, absolutely. Of course, he won't be able to run in the
JP.
Triumph, will he?
yeah.
All right, good stuff. Of course, we're building up on Arc Weekend. It's one of those special weekends, isn't it? And we've got plenty more to come your way, including Group 1 action coming up next. There it is. There's the real market. If you're new to the show, as I say, this is where you see all the trading happen. You can be a player or a layer. Barry or Saffron Beach, which are you?
Yeah, 7-4 Saffron Beach, rightly so. She's a class filly. Homeless Songs is 3.6, 9.6 Prosperous Voyage, Laurel 10.5, 15 Grand Dame 36, Misfits Herbert. Yeah, I thought the favourite would take a bit of beating in it. In all fairness, Dave, Saffron Beach, that was a really good run in Ireland. Pearls Galore just got away from all of them that day. Obviously, Homeless Songs went off 5-4 favourite. I've said it on the show before. I thought the Irish Guineas was a terrible race, and Homeless Songs is still, in my book, yet to prove that she stays a truly run 1 mile race. The Irish Guineas wasn't that, I don't feel. And I know she'll come on a stone for the run last day, and they're waiting for a bit of soft ground with a very decent autumn campaign, but I can oppose her as well. I came down on Mitz Fitzpatrick in the winning place market, please, Robbie, here. I don't think she'll disgrace herself. She was third to Potapova in the Atlanta in Sandown on decent enough ground. She won a nice fillies race last time out in Shanty, and she's a filly going in the right direction. I think she's a big price here at 38 in the win market. So we're going to have 25 quid win at 38 in the win market. And in the place market, she's currently trading at 3.8 in the 4 places. We're going to look to back her in 4 places at 3.8. We're going to have 25 quid win there as well. If the ones at the top of the market, if the Leopardstown race leaves their mark on them, on both Homeless Songs and Saffron Beach, I can see Miss Fitzherbert running into a place and running a real big race.
Interesting. All right, so from stall 2, of course, stalls on the stand side, more towards the centre of the track, which, look at the first couple of races, not a bad place to be, but Amici did come back over, didn't they? Interesting. I remember when Lawrence won this, she was right hard up against the stand side. I've got terrible memories of this race. I've got brilliant memories of terrible races. I backed a horse called Windchime for Andre Fabre. I was watching from a cafe in Paris, waiting to go to Longchamp, and we were convinced she was going to win. And she just didn't go a yard on the ground. I think she was in season or something else, but that was in the. Do you remember that was in the Tabor colours?
Yeah.
She was a really, really good horse. Good horses can get beaten in this race. Who did Saffron Beach beat in the race last year? Let's just remind ourselves.
Mother Earth.
Mother Earth, of course. Well done, Rob. Straight up.
I have an insane racing memory, Matt.
Do you?
Sorry, but
things you never think you'll hear. Things you never think you'll hear.
Right,
who was third?
I listened to this race in a cab on the way to a wedding reception.
Brilliant. That's great about racing, isn't it? You can remember where you were.
Dream Loper.
Dream Loper. It was, who of course, so look, it's a proper race. When Homeless Songs won the Irish Guineas, as I've said quite a bit on this show, I thought her and In Spiral, get it right, Dave.
Oh,
Orton.
yeah. Do you remember what did you say yesterday? Integral.
That caused a bit
I wasn't going to let you get away with that one, son.
You weren't. Batted that straight back at me. All Shively Park names, of course. I thought they were the two that might take over from Baid. I've got the same sort of excitement about Laurel, but I was a little bit underwhelmed with Homeless Songs on the way back. I know she had that break, and she's entitled to come on for it now. Tongue tie?
Yeah.
What was that little voice there?
Tongue tie? Just makes you question it.
Yeah, a little bit. Breathing issues. Has
she been strong in the market, Homeless Songs, for Dermot? Barry?
No, she hasn't, Dave. She was 9-4 when we first went up at the race, a second favourite behind the favourite Saffron Beach. But on the exchange, she's been bet at a high or at a low on the exchange. She's been matched at around that 3.45, but 3.05 and a high of 5. So there has been a few quid for her, but she's easy enough to back now.
If you were going to go for the 2, I'm sensing that you'd be with me on Saffron Beach. I didn't find it an easy choice, though.
No, I'd definitely be Saffron Beach over her, but it wasn't that long ago, Irish Champions Weekend, and they had hard races in behind the winner that day. The winner set steady fractions up front. They couldn't get her. It was on soft ground. And these fillies are coming to the end of Saffron Beach is a long season. So I don't mind rolling the dice with a big price winning a fillies race like this, where you have a little inclination that maybe the ones at the head of the market, well, Saffron Beach in this case, has had a hard season.
I imagine this will be Saffron's last season, because they are thinking about the breeders after this at Keeneland for her. She is. You just get the filly. If you wanted to go into a dust up with one of these fillies, this is the one you'd take, isn't it? Right, you've
tough
got me
girl,
back.
yeah.
She's a tough old girl.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I didn't. She's also £3 worse off, Homeless Songs, now at the weights. And the ground, I'm not so sure. So we're going to learn a lot about her. No surprise. If she comes back to that Curragh form, sayonara for the rest. Laurel. Any love for Laurel?
Not for me.
Who wins then?
Saffron Beach.
We're on Saffron. Rob?
I think the winner's going to come from Saffron Beach, Homeless Songs, Prosperous Voyage, or Lights On.
Just the 4 then.
That's my shortlist.
Just the 4. Lights On you gave me a case for yesterday, didn't you?
I did.
Please make it.
I backed her at Leopardstown in the Matron Stakes.
I'm being shouted at for the poll, Rob.
Oh, sorry, don't worry. Please continue with your poll.
It was just been there, and I think you've seen it, guys, haven't you? 39% proper favourite. I mean, it's pretty much the market, isn't it? Not a lot of love for Laurel, considering social media racing Twitter went mad about Laurel, especially after it won at Kempton, when Tuzon was made to look like one of the best prices you've ever seen.
I think you can love Laurel, but it's just this assignment, third time out.
It's an annoying thing, Laurel, isn't it? It's an annoying thing. We'll get to it. Will, interesting. Paul Keeley puts this up. Prosperous Voyage, massively overpriced. Rolling mile form is a big tick in this race. Again, another one of the big trends.
Yeah.
The excellent Kevin Morley. Go to your members club, go to your paper. Here it is, C'est Magnifique. And Kevin has been that all year. He tells you this is a 2-horse race on the trends.
He looks so happy in his picture as well, doesn't he?
Kev. Yeah.
So miserable.
Oh, yeah, okay. And there's your members club as well, I'm being told as well. Don't forget, you still get 50% off your first 3 months. It's there to be done. You get absolutely everything. So Saffron Beach. Prosperous Voyage has got that Guineas form, hasn't she? And if you're with
Always gets
Inspiral,
underestimated, Prosperous Voyage.
if you love Inspiral, then she's Group 1 winner.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I like Lights On as well. It's quite interesting because, you know, slow burning Michael Stout, 5-year-old, really good win at Sandown early in the season. Sort of came back off a break in the Matron Stakes that's on the telly right now. Just completely missed the break.
Yeah.
She was back from like 33. She went off at 17-2 in the end.
She can go on a bit of slot because we were talking about that Pontefract win.
Yeah, won by 10 lengths on
One of those
heavy
weird
four.
races where they peel off home straight, isn't it? And that's
Although
when it's very soft.
we're
there.
not going to get anywhere near that test in here at Newmarket.
We're
but-
watching back the replay now, and Barry says they've had a pretty hard race. And I mean, you can sort of see it, can't you? But it was slow kick at Leopardstown. Not totally sure it was Saffron's track,
Good ride
actually.
on the winner.
Very good ride on the winner. And Paddy Toomey's just got this that crazy strike.
Look
rate,
at
isn't
Homeless Song, the way when she hits the furlong marker, her stride really short.
She
and
curls.
She should come on for the run, but she changed her legs
Yeah.
and everything. You know,
Yeah, it looks a bit
didn't seem
knackered there.
comfortable.
I mean,
a bit knackered.
it's a shame, really. But look, Dermot actually says, doesn't he, in his quote today, OK, let's read it for you guys as they're getting ready to go around behind the stalls. This is going to be a belter, this one. I think you'll see an improved filly, says Dermot. The master of Rose. Well, you go into every race hoping you can win it, but she came into the matron after a long break following a dry summer. We knew that's what she was going to have this campaign. She'll probably go to the breeders, you would imagine. Could they still go to the QE2 in a couple of weeks? We're finding out very shortly after this race, of course, so we get all the quotes very quickly. I knew she would progress from the race. She used to be in very good form since. I hasn't said anything about the tongue tie. I would like someone to have quizzed him on the tongue tie.
Yeah, that's poor reporting, whoever's done that.
Oh, who are you calling out? Mark Boylan?
Could be. Lovely
He's
bloke,
one of the
though.
best
You
in
don't
the
actually
game.
want to be, like, speak ill of Mark Boylan, do you?
We
know if
don't
you've
know
ever chatted.
who's calling up these trainers, of course, because it's not just the RST. No, Mark's
Nah, it
Mark's
would've
a
been.
right character, and he's
Oh,
brilliant.
he's so nice, yeah. You ever seen his video of him singing?
He was on the
For
morning
that
line.
Cheltenham song, yeah.
Yeah.
Singing about Quarto Star. It's very bizarre, but
I know. Who'd have thought he'd end up with us? And you don't rule out an appearance from Mark. You've got Grand Dame in here, of course, who had a chance at Spencer at Sandown last time. Misfits Herbert, though, for Barry at a price. Let's get the tip out on social before we go back and have a look exactly what the market's saying. Mark, like Shark, comes on and says, I like lights on each way as well.
what a Mark.
Let's have a look at some Mark.
What's that name all about, son?
What's Mark like Shark? Yeah, let us know.
Please.
If it's within reason, we shall put it up.
He's
let's
got a
have
bit of
look.
bite.
Oh, there you go. Absolutely
Did that
correct
deserve a
ways.
laugh? I don't know, but he's still got one.
I've got to think about sharks ever since Jaws. Michael Stout would be the trainer in this race with the best
Sharknado.
record, unsurprisingly, in the last 10 years. 6 runners. What was his winner?
Who, Stout?
Yeah, you should know.
What year?
Well, it's more the name.
Oh,
Yeah,
Inspiral.
2014, it was Integral. Me and Robbie, I've been calling Inspiral Integral all week. And
He's getting things wrong all the time.
I've been
this
called
fella.
out, I know.
I saw a really nice outtakes video of you the other day as well, mate.
there are some outtakes that the boys have prepared for a little reel going on, unsurprisingly.
It's not always as slick as this, let me tell you.
It's not. It's not. But on the well, that's it. That's why we love the live show, guys, isn't it? And we love having you with us this afternoon. Barry, what's the market loving?
Yeah, well, Homeless Songs is nearly at the 3-1 now, 3.95. Your favourite still steady at around the 13-8 mark, 2.64. 8.4 Prosperous Voice continues to attract support. 12 Laurel, 19 Grand Dame, Misfits Herbert into 34 from 44.
All right, great stuff. So look, a real top field of fillies here, and Homeless Songs will be the last in. What are you expecting pace-wise, guys?
I'd have thought, like, surely he's just going to keep it fairly simple.
Prosperous Voyage is the
Saffron
one.
Beach will be up there as well.
Fontaine likes to get on with it.
Yeah.
Good
A few
to see
quid
the
for
ones.
that, Dave, as well.
Is
into
there?
18 Fontaine, yeah.
Shouldn't be good enough,
We've got their
surely.
best horse coming up, haven't we, in Longchamp? later on in the
Oh, yes.
Wildenstein.
Yes, triple time.
Better the day, that.
I'm on that.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Me and you both done.
And the
Bring
Wildenstein,
it
4
on.
o'clock, isn't it? I think around about that time.
Pre-Daniel Wilders.
Yes, against the Revenant. All right, but back to the Sun Chariot we go. Just been given a tip there. 2:42, away we go. Lights on, not the best away. Laurel biding her time as well. Grand Dame is the only one going on the stand side. Spencer on a horse that is, again, we don't know how quite good she is, but Fontaine is going on with Prosperous Voice. Saffron Beach is up there. The old rivals are right next to each other, guys. Homeless Song's there as well. By all means, the big outsider is out the back. And poor old Grand Dame, I say poor old Grand Dame, she's making her way solo on that stands rail. Looking for Laurel. She's
she's a
settled
bit
nicely.
behind as
Barry
well.
Orr, we're around about a couple of furlongs. What does the market think now we've got our positions?
Oh, they're coming
Yeah,
over.
likes Prosperous Voyage into 7.692. Laurel, your favourite still, 0.64. Those Saffron Beach who's leading them down into the dip.
Okay, so we're half a mile out then. Posty, what are you liking?
Prosperous Voyage in a very good rhythm. I mean, at the moment, Saffron Beach travels well. Looks like she's lugging slightly out to her right, and Misfits Herbert's is moving nicely in fourth.
They're trapping now all of a sudden. Look at Laurel. She's a bright prospect, whatever happens here,
Yeah.
win, lose or draw. Homeless Songs then. At the moment, it looks like she's just going to peel out for that challenge. Chris Hayes is sensing glory. Fontaine, Grand Dame not done with. Laurel just now, this is where we find out
Whoa,
how good she
Laurel
is.
might do
Homeless
this.
Songs looks in trouble.
Saffron Beach
Saffron
is
Beach is
knackered.
gone. All of a sudden, Laurel,
Prosperous
look at
Voyage.
this. Woohoo!
Wow, this is a
They've got
turn
in
up, isn't it?
spiral.
Not yet, lads.
Fontaine might get there.
They're coming back with Grand Dame as well. John Gosson's going to have a
Fontaine's
one. I tell you what,
getting there.
Fontaine's not going to do her, is she?
Fontaine.
The Ryan's on the near side. They've had it right off here. Looks like she's going to be done. Laurel went to the
wow.
front. She's curled up. How low did she go? We'll find out. Look at that. Neil Callan up in the saddle. He loved it. She tried to make all Barry.
So hard
she
to
got
predict this
she
game.
got headed then. She went into the dip best of all and saw it out.
Yeah, Laurel hit a low of 1.12, which is 8-1 on for 1,700 quid. When she hit the front, she looked home and hosed by all metrics. But obviously, Fontaine, who we did flag up just at the off, there was money for hit a high of 80 in. I think that was pre-race. She was a high of 80. You know, I don't think that was in running. It was only for small stuff as well. She's a high of 55 for 109 quid. But she's gone and done it well. Neil Callan at the finish, yeah.
His old boss.
The biggest prize winner
On the
of this.
song, again, very disappointing. I don't think she stays a mile.
Ooh,
Saffron
interesting.
Beach, that was a surprise, wasn't it?
She just
It never went. She was lugging out to her right, and she stopped very quickly.
we called that. Well, I mean, someone called that on this show. What that had just happened there. If you're analysing this race, well, I'll put my senior analyst hat on now.
Please.
You are going to write, and if they're listening out there, make sure you do. They're going to write had a hard race at Leopardstown, which is exactly what Barry
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, I get-
Homeless Songs.
get what
That
you're
is
saying.
not the Homeless Songs that we saw earlier in the year by a mile.
Definitely not.
And the tongue tie stank a little bit, didn't he?
Couldn't have picked that first three, could you?
And keeping with, you know,
Is there an argument that she just was flattered by that Irish Guineas?
well, you've looked
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
at-
big
definitely.
time.
She
Yeah.
beat the Oaks winner and she beat Concert Hall, who I know's done nothing since, but at the time was rocking and
Pretty
rolling,
good,
right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was more the substance to the way she did it.
Yeah, but
she flew
you've got
away
to
from
you've
them.
got to question that now.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
She
like,
beat a horse called what's Barry will remember? What's
Agartha.
Joseph's horse? Agartha.
Yeah,
Someone's got the
Agartha.
form up.
She was in the field, and Star Girls Alma,
Yeah.
who Janie, I think, is rated 80 or something now. But yeah, the only winner to come out of the race was, I think that might have won since, but Tuesday, only when she stepped up to 1.5 miles, she
Yeah.
won. She was never going to
Yeah.
win over a mile. Not a classic over a mile anyway. There was no pace in the race, and she just sprinted clear the winner that day.
Well, Sacred
good
Bridge
point.
was in it, Barry. That's one. Cigarmio was in it. Cigarmio, however you go.
They were useless. It was a
Yeah,
crap race.
it's not Group 1 form, is it? But
Purple
so
pay.
so
not-
you've
didn't
got
get
us
around.
now question that like I say, what was visually at the time very impressive is obviously got major
it's a
holes in
shame,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, and then, like I say, Saffron Beach was lugging right, never looked happy.
Just didn't look
do,
happy
do,
at all.
Do you reckon, in hindsight now, Rab Havlin will wish he waited 10 seconds longer? You watched that
On
race
Laurel.
back.
You had to say it, didn't you? You think he's gone too soon?
Yeah, well, that's what we're here
That
to
would
do,
have been
isn't
his
it?
first Group 1.
It would have been his first group
Well,
run.
but
Yeah,
Havlin,
yeah,
really?
it's like painful for him. He's he's a cracking
That's
rider, been
absolutely
around forever, and I'm not saying it was a mistake, but I'm saying that if you watched it back, I would imagine pulling up, he thinks, I wish I'd just, because the turn of foot she showed to pick it up.
She came into it with a rating of 98, Laurel. And you don't win Group 1s on paper doing what she's tried to do. She's obviously the filly to take out of this, isn't she?
Hugely.
Fontaine, isn't it interesting, that late money? She's obviously, experience has been a big thing for her. She looked beaten, as Barry said, you went big and then come back in. Neil Cullen getting the Group 1 as well, by the way.
For Kevin Ryan, who was obviously his big ally before he moved to Hong Kong.
They will be over in Gay Paris at the moment, waiting for the Wildenstein.
Yes.
So I tell you what, the Chambard is
but
just
great
about
for Neil
to get...
Callan as well, so, coming back over here, re-establishing
And you could
himself.
see how much that meant to him going past the line.
I'm actually stunned that Haviland's never in a Group 1.
There is a line of form, though, that makes sense out of this form, and it tells you exactly... This is the great thing about form study, is that Fontaine beat Grand Dame at York over extended 7 furlongs in the Michael Seeley Memorial. That was on the Friday, on the May card. They've basically they've run very close to that form. That is listed form.
Yeah, so that says it all.
So it says that Saffron has not turned up, and Homeless Songs...
They probably both improved a bit as well.
And so is Laurel as good as we think
But if you watch that race back, the way she picks up when she goes into the gap, and then it's almost like she's a bit green and still like, and she kind of half curls up.
10 days ago she ran at Kempton.
All I'm saying is, in hindsight, I just wonder if he'll reflect and think...
the feel he must have had going through.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, look, as we well know, it can happen to a rider going too soon.
I don't dispute it.
It can happen.
But what I'm saying is, we are here to
the
talk
most
about
famous
that.
of them all.
Yeah, we are here to talk about that. There's no point hiding away from it. There's nothing worse than people that don't say what they feel.
No, quite right. Absolutely, no, quite right. Did he go too soon? Was the best horse second, or was the best horse feeling like she's?
Where's
had a long
Laurel going
season?
now? Breeders' Cup.
Should Homeless Song have gone to the foray? Dave Lowe in the studio is saying.
That's a good shout from Dave Lowe, actually.
Does Tenebrism win the foray? That's the 5 o'clock tomorrow.
That's quite a weak foray, I'd say.
What will,
If Kinross is a short price. I mean,
we will
Kinross
get the quotes of the beaten horses in your members club. Look at Parry Longchamp on the Saturday. They're absolutely in their droves over there at the moment as we get ready to see Denmark. Are we going to cover this race? Should we keep our eyes on Denmark here?
Let's have a look.
Why not?
Denmark's look pretty good.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Barry, let's bring you in here.
So
Denmark. A lot was said about it, wasn't it? The 2-year-olds a couple of months ago. Loads of chat about it. Look, I've run the numbers. Aidan's won 3 Group 1s so far, thanks to Blackbeard. That's a good year. And the numbers say, with a 1-2-2 from Little Big Bear, and now 116 horse, he's having a fine year. No problems with it. This was one that we thought might step up. He didn't go to the Beresford. Here he is running in a sales race. Is he still being quoted for the Derby and the likes?
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, he was really impressive in Nace. He beat Warrior Line and View Take, and then, he looked like a horse that would come on considerably for that run. The only thing is that the second was beaten out of sight when he went to a maiden in the Curragh. He was beat by Cairo, I think it was. View Taken then as well has been beaten since. So there's the form of his win in Nace has taken a couple of knocks. He's 6-4 here. And I don't know whether I'd be facing into him at 6-4, considering the second and the third from that race in Nace have both been badly beaten since.
All right, okay, thanks, Barry. And there's the market lot up there. So if you fancy getting involved, this usually goes to the Brits. Actually, we won it 3 times. Manuzio's won it. Jadumi, who's been making a name for himself.
Yeah, good friend of mine, Jadumi. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you talk regularly?
Big fan.
Yeah, I backed him a good, but he did me a right favour when he got home that day. So the Christopher's have won it. Manuzio's won it. Michael Bell's won it as well.
It's 126 grand to the winner,
and he was bought at Derville. Yeah. So this is where he is. So this, so that's why they're going here. I could say this is extremely clever placing.
Yeah.
But did any of us expect him to be turning up in this race? So let's see how he gets on. I was literally with Aidan yesterday as he was reacting to the draw in this. Where's he drawn, Dave? I said number 4. He wrote it straight down. He looked very, very happy with that because
he didn't mention you spoke to Aidan O'Brien yesterday.
No, I know. If you didn't know,
did you not hear the bell ringing in the background?
The bell is ringing.
Brought up about 25
Any
times.
day you speak to Aidan O'Brien is one where trumpets must be blown. And I can tell you the relationship is burgeoning. The relationship is burgeoning. He told me that High Definition wouldn't beat Hamish.
They're WhatsApp friends now.
I couldn't know. He was in a very good place. He just won Group 3 in France, so you're going to be, aren't you? But he was in a very good place. Talking to Hamish, the St Simon Stakes is left for him. He'll have the penalties. He loves the soft ground. He's just in a great place. He'll keep going. So that's what you wanted to know about Hamish, basically.
Where's that? He's not in anything at the moment.
St Simon Stakes is Newbury's last flat meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's not an early closing. Yeah,
probably not. No. Yeah. So I mean, where'd he go? You know, wasn't that remarkable in the Irish Chariot as well last Sunday? We'll talk about that in a bit. But here we are. Bonus for you then. The 250 at Prix Longchamp, and the weather is fine over there, isn't it? But the ground, it is not. As they cover up lots of ground here. Where is he then? He's going to be taking a sit fifth. Yeah, We're looking at Denmark. What else in this race? We should be covering
Hugo
others,
Palmer, Namos.
I thought you said Hugo Palmer was in the race. What sort of years Hugo had? It was a good start, wasn't it?
Yeah,
from his new
base.
He's
probably not really kicked on the last month or two. No offence.
No, and I'm sure none will be taken either. He's had a good year, I think, isn't
he? Ran well in the Sprint Cup, didn't he, the other day?
Flaming Rib bronze later on, of course. Yeah. Oh, links are plenty here for you out there. He's sort of running a little bit green, isn't he, Denmark? Running a little bit green.
And he was also questioning his slightly high head carriage.
Still not gone up, though, Barry. What is he, 7-4 now?
Yeah, he's 8-15 to 8, Dave.
Just give him a smack down the shoulder, he did.
Yeah. Munch is the one they want to come on. This is Manuzier's horse. He's won this before, of course. What's the horse he won? Oh, Modin Munch beat last time.
Good friend Oliver Pellier on board.
Oh, yeah, Oliver. Ollie. He beat Serona, didn't he, last time? Of course, what's supposed to be
I think Denmark's winning this race.
Very green.
Very green. He's got lots of horses in front of him.
You have to learn quickly.
What else is this? These are some recognisable colours. Suzak as well. What happened there? Oh, no. Munch has gone wrong. Terrible to see. Oh dear, and there's absolute carnage. One as a jockey's come off as well. What a shame. He's gone wrong, sadly, Munch. Denmark's left it too late, hasn't he? It looks like the Roger Varian colours that we know very well. Suzak is going to cost it. I'll tell you what, it's a very eye-catching run from Denmark. He has left it too late.
He's getting there.
He's not.
He's getting there.
No, he doesn't get up.
No, he's getting there.
Oh, no, he's not. Oh, another stride and he'd have done it.
I didn't see that coming.
Hard to know, isn't it? Let's have a look at the Racing Post ratings of the winner. Much more experienced winner. Hit a Racing Post rating of 90 last time. You mark him up to what, about 100 there? I don't think we've seen the best of Denmark there.
Denmark's the horse to take out.
No, not sure. Not yet. Yeah.
Who's screaming at the Terry, Barry? I imagine they will be, will they?
Yeah, no, they're just looking at the replay there, that horse going wrong. Jamie, that's a dreadful look on David Manoussier, who could do with a bit of a change of look.
He could.
After having such a cracking season last year and then losing that decent horse. But Denmark's dead on well there to finish, really, hasn't he? But no quotes in yet for anything.
Yeah, all right, OK, we move away. Then it was a bonus race there. I don't know, he's looked like a good horse to me there, basically, but we will find out. They don't all have to have 111 next to their name.
Is he in the Racing Post trophy or not?
He probably will be in the Vertem, I would imagine. No, it's the best advertising we've ever done.
Bit of a plug there,
You're a company man, Posty. You literally called your surname after us. All right, Rohan time, Flaming Rib time, as we just mentioned. Al Sahel, Barry's old favourite, Comanche Falls. Which way are you playing, Barry? In the Bengough Stakes.
Yeah, Rohan's your favourite at 4.4. 8.4 Flaming Rib. Al Sahel, money for that, 8.4. Comanche Falls, negative, out to 12. Same price for Gale Force Maya. Araz is 10. I like the Dream, won the race last year. I suppose he hasn't been in the same form this season as he has last season, but he's getting his conditions here today, his optimum conditions, which is very important to him. He was near last and first in the Air Gold Cup, but I'll forgive him that run. The form is run to San Maximus has been held up with San Maximus running well behind Art Power in the Courage just last weekend on his penultimate run. They've left the cheek pieces off here. So we're going to have 25 quid win, please. Please, Robbie. Happy to be a price taker at 13.5.
Didn't realise the Dream was a male, I must admit.
It's a filly, is it? You're calling Barry out?
Yeah, I was got having a bit of banter with Barry.
4 places as well.
Finally got the dig back about his hair there, Barry.
4 places, yeah.
Look well, but I'm changing my opinion rapidly on that.
Oh, come on. I thought you'd enjoy that.
Bad dream in the point.
You're saying I can take a joke earlier,
You just put your head in that computer and take care of business there, boss. 2.0 now.
Brilliant.
Barry Orr can't take a joke.
Happy to be a price taker there, Robbie.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. So listen, all right, so look, the Dream. I'm a little surprised that you're going back in for this, Barry, because was it just too? You're just happy to just put a line through the Air Gold Cup, obviously.
Yeah, it was drawn 21 in the Air Gold Cup as well, Dave. So those high numbers didn't fare too well. Had worn cheek pieces, and they left them on in the Air Gold Cup. Interesting, they've left them off today. So it might just be the case he was kind of. He rejected them maybe on his second start in them because they have left them off. So I just have 14 to 1. He's a decent price each way in a race like this.
Does Primo Baccio turn up later on the card as well? Is it?
Yes.
The two quirky.
Get retired.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I thought this was a perfect. I nearly napped her actually. Toon 2020. Someone had to do it, didn't they? Talking of the Air Gold Cup, Summergan turns up. He's had his big day in the sun now, though, hasn't he? I mean, you couldn't possibly bet against him doing it.
He's had a few big days, hasn't he? Really.
He was brilliant winner of the Air Gold Cup, said David O'Mara. I'd be concerned about the ground, which we know he's best on quicker, don't we?
Yeah.
Although he has run very well on slow ground before. But yeah, okay, all right. So Barry thinks that form will be reversed. The Dream, who won the race last year, goes from stall 5. That's going to be fine here. I thought Rohan was absolutely rock solid.
So solid.
I just didn't think I was going to be tipping him for this. And then I looked at Eraz, and I'm not sure about the ground. He's by Soche.
I would have liked Eraz on quick ground.
If by Showcasing, whose progeny usually do quite like a bit of dig, but he's got a lot bit to prove, hasn't he?
I do think there's a big performance in him somewhere, though.
When he got beaten by Tiber Flow, who reopposes, he probably should have won that, though, at Newmarket.
I quite like Tiber Flow in this, though. I think he'll be suited by a bit of cutting the ground, too.
OK, interesting. Stevie Donahoe taking another big
double.
ride.
Yeah, but like you said, I thought Rohan was really solid at the head of the market, and then Tiber Flow with one of a bigger price.
God forbid you trip up on this show now, Robbie Wilders, because Barry's going to be on you like honestly.
Bad books.
You've got to be careful. You could do it to me. I'll be on you like a rash. All right, Will says, isn't Rohan just different class to this lot? Yeah, that 4 to 1 looks under pressure, Barry, does it? 3 to 1, sorry.
3 to 1 hard now in the exchange. Rohan, Flaming Rib out to 7, 9 Alsta Hale, 11 Gale Force Maya, Iraz out to 16 from 12, the Dream out to 15.5. Yeah, these are all well exposed at this stage now, aren't they, Dave? Like, we know these horses inside out.
Yeah, he's only been beaten once at Ascot, Rohan.
Yeah.
Form of 1-1-0-1. I'm trying to think where the 0 came. Was it this year? No,
in the Wokingham.
No, he won the one.
No, he's won it twice. We got
that,
beaten it once.
That was in a jumping sprint last year.
Was it? I thought it was in another Wokingham.
Creative force. Rob's right.
Well done, Wilders.
I'll tell you, in the moment you trip up, now you've got 2 people looking to get you. So let's see
we'll be on you like a rash.
Let's have a bit of fun with your tip then, Robbie.
Yeah, my tip.
It's a sprint, Rob. You love these.
Come on. I'll give you a 1, 2, 3, shall I?
Say something about the breeding.
I'll give you 1, 2, 3. Eraz, The Dream, and Rohan.
Oh, you've got The Dream in there.
Yeah, I love The Dream. Yeah, it just comes alive at Ascot.
Check
Comes
you
alive
out.
when cutting the ground. Comes alive this time of year.
Trying to crawl back under that rock.
No, I'm not just copying Barry. I wrote it in my note. You can see it in the paper right now. Gave her a good shot.
We actually let you write it, do we?
I don't know. I never actually read it myself, mate. But you'll see my face in there somewhere.
Believe it or not, it's just horrible for me to admit this, but our editors think that Robbie's is some of the cleanest copy they get. I've been told that by a few
Who
people.
said that?
I'm not
stop
telling you.
it. That's the only reason I got this.
Honestly, when they told me that, I was like, don't tell me.
That's the only reason I got this job, mate.
Don't
tell
me
that.
He's blushing. He's blushing, Dave.
I know. There he is. Absolutely. I'm expecting the Stan Laurel hair to go up a bit.
There's a bit of sweat under the arm now.
All right, so on top, you'd have Eraz on top. Still believe it. I mean, he's only beaten less than 4 lengths in the Commonwealth, hasn't he?
Soft ground is an unknown, but
I feel a bit for Gale Force Maya. I shouldn't do because she's won 4 times this year. But
the ground
if it wasn't for Highfield Princess, this would be everyone's favourite filly this year, wouldn't it?
She's brilliant.
She is rock tough. Yeah. Absolutely love her. And Dodsy's rolling the dice. Paul Mulrennan's having some year, isn't he, by the way? Is he 3rd in the Jockey Championship?
Oh, what? They've not got second.
Could be second.
Yeah. I've not got analysis by Robbie Wilders, but no picture.
Sorry, mate. Yeah. I noticed you keep calling me Wilders.
Oh, that's because that's what you like to call you Wilders.
So 1L.
It's like the Dutch Ajax player.
I thought they'd have my nice, handsome picture in.
Yeah.
That's a bit annoying.
Okay.
You do get quite a few
Trust me, he was forced
They're not
onto
all
my
mine,
roster
that's
of
somewhere.
talent this year. Ross Briley put up Alsa Hale last night, I noticed. He likes the Godolphin, also dropping back in trip. So good luck, Pat Dobbs on a quick double at Ascot. We've still got one more to come at Ascot. We'll be taking in the Cadran at some point. We'll go back to Newmarket as well. It's all happening on a great afternoon here. What was the... Barry, I don't want to rub it in with you. What was the Tottenham score?
What a 3-1, Dave. You'll be glad to hear.
3-2. Well, I'm not glad to hear. Trust me.
We can't have Arsenal win the league.
I'm neither team, but I have to say I'm more white than I am red. That's for sure.
I hate Tottenham. Arsenal.
Come on, that's good.
Hate's such a horrible word.
Very horrible word.
Very.
He's a Chelsea fan, Barry. That's why.
Like hate.
Yeah.
He's a Chelsea fan. Let's see if the Royal Blues come out here. Oh, a very strong word.
He's not backing down.
If you go out to his desk, he's got a Chelsea mug. He's even got a Chelsea lanyard. Right, off we go. And
The Dream came out sideways.
Yeah, the Dream not great out.
Yeah,
Rohan right out the back though as well. Okay, we've got one staying on the near side. That's Ventura Diamond, who loves the slop, but now migrating over as Al Sahel leads them a merry dance. I'll tell you what, if you're leading Princess Shadnam, who's in second, you're going to Right Old Licket and Flaming Rib as well. I'll tell you what, Barry, if we're in fourth or fifth, like your old friend Comanche Falls is, I reckon you'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, it's still wide open there. 3.3 though, Rohan, and he's tagging onto the back of the main group now. 2.5 Rohan. He's at 6-4. You can believe.
That's short enough, isn't it?
I mean, they rarely get it wrong, as I say, but he's got a lot of ground to make up. We're on the far side now. This is ridiculous, isn't it?
He's absolutely cantering into it.
Look at this. So this is who's on today, of course, on Rohan. It's Adam Kirby, isn't it, as well? Yeah. Now he needs the gap. And the Dreams, bang there, last year's winner. Al Sahel, Summergan's filling his lungs. Eras has run a shocker for Robbie Wilders. Barry will be delighted to hear. But here we go then. Off he goes. Class rising again. And these sprinters have just got it right. Tell you what, look at Summergan.
Summergan's
coming
home,
possibly do it, can he?
No, he doesn't.
No, Rohan's just done it. What a run from Summergan again.
Classy.
Backing up from that Air Gold Cup. He's going to get second just from Comanche Falls. But Rohan, one of Graham Rodway's best bets of the day. In fact, he did what you're not supposed to do these days in the tipping column. He did something on Thursday and he tipped, would you believe it, Friday on the Saturday.
I don't know why he did that.
Right.
I don't know why he did that though, really.
Well, 2 points.
We've got enough opportunities to tip for Saturday.
Rohan, well done to Will out there,
Well
one of
done,
our socials. Barry, that was Hamish-like, wasn't it? Cutting through the pack and delivering the goods.
Yeah, he just loves it around there, doesn't he, really? He's a Betfair SP of 4.64. Didn't trade any higher in running than his pre-race of 5.4. He's absolutely spread eagled them when the gaps opened up and he's come through. Another cracking run from Summergan that has to be said, trade at a low of 12. No in-running news, Dave, other than once the winner had clear passage, it was all over.
A couple of eye catches in there, Barry. I mean, Eras has once run a really weird race. He either hated the ground, but he's actually looked like he was going to fall out the back of the telly, sticking on a zero type vibe. And he's running on late again. Type of Flow's run on late, like a horse that's definitely going to want 7 furlongs next year. But this is just a lovely animal, isn't it?
Yeah, he
loves Ascot, doesn't he?
He's an absolute star. 4 from 5 at Ascot now. Yeah.
What a horse to run. And he's got a Catapult, definitely the best that Paul Evans has ever tried.
Run to Freedom ran well, didn't it?
For the Candies.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, just a very straightforward horse, I think. First time cheap pieces.
He'll surely be back here with a sprint on Champions Day, won't he?
Gotta be, isn't he?
Be keen to see what Betfair, how they're pricing him up for the Champions Sprint now.
Okay, Barry.
6-1 maybe.
5 from 7.
5 from 7.
5 from 7.
Who's that, Rohan?
Yeah.
Highfield Princess, I'm assuming, is your fave, Barry.
That's pretty fair.
She won't go there.
She's going to go Breeders, isn't she,
Cup,
John Quinn was saying?
Yeah.
Got to keep her fresh.
Do you think Rohan's going to go a favourite in that then?
Well, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
We have to think about the rest of them. Who's
got
second
Creative
favourite,
Force,
Barry? Sorry to
Naval
put you on the spot.
Crown.
Just give me a second here, Dave.
Yeah, no worries. Because this could 5 to 1 might be
Always
something.
wide open.
We might suggest an anti-post to tip.
I don't think it'll get short and 5 to 1 on the day because there's going to be like 24 runners. There
Okay,
always are in these.
Creative Force is your favourite at 3 to 1,
so.
5 to 1 Rohan.
Called it.
But you know what? A bigger field suits him, though, doesn't it? Like,
No, it does. Yeah, it needs to be held up.
I'm going to punt that
Ascot
could well
races.
go off favourite for that.
Who? Rohan will.
So you're going to
He's
back
just
him
got
now?
a legion of. I'm quite tempted.
He
He
just
hasn't had a hard
doesn't.
race
I know
though,
he's
has
won
he?
there, but he
You
doesn't
see that?
win
Look at
enough.
Adam Kirby giving a nice bat. Beautiful.
Well, that's for the family, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Is he not married to David Evans' daughter?
There you go.
Good knowledge, didn't I?
There you go. He'd like to spend it on the combine harvester, doesn't he? Adam Kirby. Loves it. That's where he's. That's where he's.
I didn't know what you
That's where he's at his happiest, Curbs. You see, that's where if you ever try and get on.
Oh, actually, no. You showed us that picture once, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I think he likes tearing around the quad bike and all that. They got the farm at home, haven't they? Yeah.
And Lambourne.
Lambourne.
Isn't that his Lambourne?
Oh, he's outside Newmarket.
Is
no?
he? Oh, okay.
Maybe
He was always Lambourne.
Yeah.
Kirby, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Kirby.
Got a lot of misinformation.
A
lot of
Mate,
misinformation.
Christ.
Fake news here.
There's going to be a lot for the outtakes again, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Real poor factual accuracy from all of us today.
Yeah.
Well, not me actually.
Oh, that's coming. That's coming. Don't you worry about it. It's coming.
How did that 1, 2, 3 go in that last race?
Yeah,
Rohan.
shocking, wasn't it? All right, where are we going next, guys? Redcar's on the horizon, isn't it? That's for sure. So maybe we'll get plenty of time out there
We've
now.
got 15 minutes till then. How are we going to fill that?
Well, this is where you struggle.
Yeah.
So this is
what
where
we
you
talk
are.
about now?
This is what. Oh, this is. I mean, it's got to be racing.
Got to be about racing, isn't it? We
Yeah,
can't talk about.
Stop talking about hatred of other
Yeah,
football
hatred
clubs.
of the Arsenal. Yeah.
That's absolutely
Chelsea
ridiculous.
getting on,
Well,
actually.
now look, Barry, we've got to let's get the market up here, if you don't mind, guys, for the Redcar Trophy. We need to give them their day in the sun. It's good to see. I tell you what, it's a funny track for me, Redcar. I never really liked it as a punter, as an analyst, but I've really come around to it in recent years. You always get big fields there. You can see some decent horses. Newmarket likes to take a decent one up. Haggis likes to take a decent one up, and this is their big race, Barry. And Cold Case, obviously, he's got pattern form here at the weights. He should be winning. The market says he pretty much already has.
Yeah, he's very strong. 2.48 now. Cold Case. Maria Brandwell is 10. Same price for Barefoot Angel. Funny Story 11. It's 13.5 bar. I like Funny Story in it. The Rafe Beckett filly won first time up Newmarket July course in the maiden and did it well. Then was a 5-1 chance for a listed fillies race in Newbury where she ran no sort of race. She finished 10 of 10. Definitely something wrong with her that day. They've given her a nice break. They brought her back to Chelmsford where she carried her penalty in a novice. She was given £7 to the rest of the field and she won well that day. She won very convincingly. Looked like a filly who would come on for the run and would run well again before the season's out. So she's 10.5 at the moment, please, Robbie. What we're going to look to do, there's 4 places on the Betfair Sportsbook. We're going to look to have 25 quid each way her on the Sportsbook. So if you toggle over there.
Oh, yes.
25 quid each way. Funny Story. I'm sure you have plenty of them, Robbie, about your trips to the
And
barbers.
yourself, mate.
I enjoyed that one.
Unbelievable.
You wouldn't have dared carry that.
I take it back, Rob. I take it back.
Nah, come on.
You wouldn't have.
Please.
He does like a
Bring
bit
it
of.
on.
He
No,
does like a bit of
I do like
spice.
when people take the mick out of me, yeah.
Yeah, I know you do. You thrive. You would never have worn that haircut in Mykonos, would you?
This is the exact barn I've done in Mykonos. Do you know? Because you had to put so much hairspray on.
It's the
because
Mykonos
it's the
barn,
windy. It's the windiest place you've ever seen.
What, Mykonos?
Yeah, ridiculously windy. Like wherever
Bruce
you go.
Melissa's been there
So I was
twice,
just absolutely caking my barnet in hairspray, so I wouldn't end up.
Did it work out?
yeah,
Just
of course it did,
imagine John Travoltaing it down the beach in Mykonos. What a horrible sight. Liverpool and Chelsea both losing 1-0.
Chelsea losing.
Yeah,
what?
I could see
Batch
that.
will be happy, won't he?
Oh yeah, Batchy, absolutely. He was supposed to be at Fontwell today, Batch, but they withdrew his run. It was probably that makes him see. I could see just interested in the chat. Toon 2020, well done out there. My old favourite Summergan second, and I got the forecast. Well done out there. It was there, wasn't it? Dimp says I did give Rowan a little mention, a little boom out there. And Darren Walker like this. Arsenal 1, don't rub it in, Darren. And Rohan 5-1. Nice little double out there.
Lovely.
Okay, all right. Let's get some socials up after these. Not yet. After we give the tips here. Robbie Wilders, what wins?
I'm just annoyed that we're 1-0 down. What race is it? Oh, the Redcar race. This is another one I wrote analysis for, actually.
Go on then. Enlighten us.
Well,
Yeah.
please, get it up.
What's Wilders saying this time?
What was I saying? I was saying Cold Case is a very fair favourite.
Yeah.
Got very short, though. It was about 3-1, and now we're looking at, what, 2.56?
Why do you find
6
it
to 4 now,
slightly
yeah.
surprising that favourites have such a good record in Redcar's most famous race?
Why? Because it always has such a massive field, and there's
Right.
often not loads between them. But this horse is proven group performer, and that third in the Gimcrack was very smart. There are a
In
couple
the
of
what?
interesting
Sorry,
ones.
in the what? The third in the what?
Right, we've got one here.
Third in the what? In the Gimcrack?
What did you say, Gimcrack?
Where's Gimcrack? I don't know. Where's it?
You say Jim,
Hi,
yeah?
Barry, here we go.
Yeah, go
You
on.
say Jim.
Third in the
I've had
Gimcrack.
stick. I've had stick.
Too easy,
before.
lads. That's too easy. It has to be something with a little bit degree of
you're not telling-
difficulty, please.
All the viewers are roaring out there
Lots
now.
of people
Right
say
now,
Gim,
we'll
don't
take it. The Gimcrack.
Get back to your extras
they?
agency.
But sorry, why is it Jim?
It's Gimcrack. Everyone knows
Yeah.
it's the Gimcrack.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm having a bottle of Jim tonight, would I?
You're
Gin
not,
and
you're not
tonic.
having a bottle of Gim either,
Yeah.
are you?
Certainly not. I don't know what that is, mate.
Explains a lot.
I'll have a gin and
Well,
tonic,
the
please.
the gym is in the freezer at the
Not
moment.
taking
don't
him to
worry
the
about that.
Thirsty Bear after this, I can tell you. All right, so...
A couple of others to note. Whole Green, as I've written there.
Oh, my Lord, he's going from
Only
bad
got
to
a length
worse.
and a half to find with Cold Case. Obviously, second to Persian Force in the season is at quite good form. I think he's better than his rating, but
Yeah.
he has got a little bit to find. And the other one was Jumbo, who we've not seen since the Windsor Castle. Eye-catching fifth behind Little Big Bear staying on.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the two at prices.
A Little Big Bear form in advertisement in Redcar. Yeah, I can see that. That's interesting. Tom Clover's had a good year as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There's a big bias at the moment in Redcar. Everyone out there is probably screaming at the telly going, you've got to be drawn low. And if you watch these, I mean, Do you remember when we had a bit of fun poked at me because I was talking about the haggis horse that got beaten? I can't remember his name now. The golden horse. It was a 4-runner race, and he managed to find trouble in that at Redcar because they all try and go hard up against the far rail.
Yeah.
For about the last 3 or 4 years, the jockeys have worked out that that's where you want to be, and they do migrate that way. So low numbers and cold cases in 8. So Clifford Lee, who did a nice Q&A with Natalie Green this week, you'd have seen in the weekend up. He, or maybe that's coming next week. Actually,
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, absolutely. In 8. So you're going to have options there. But really, Maria Bramwell and Misty Blues, the horse has got that air form. I quite like Misty Blues, actually, here, to outrun her figures. Have got the chance. But that's why I went for Funny Story as well with Barry. I think they think this is pattern class.
Get it, yeah, I do get that.
Yeah. And when we saw it winning on the July course on its debut, like I say, just forget that.
I think I'd rather lay cold case than back him now.
Yeah.
Would you?
What about the floor
think
out there? Is that what everyone's thinking out there? So 2 for Jumbo.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with that. I'm in the draw. Yeah.
Half for Jumbo, half for whole green.
Half a point you're allowed to have.
Can do.
You're
Or
a
1 point
modernista.
each, why not?
What? 1 point each. Okay, fair enough. I'll let you do that, Robbie.
Cheers, mate.
And me and Barry are splitting it on Funny Story as well. Now we've got how many minutes have we got until this? Around about 6 or 7 minutes. So it'll take a while for these 2-year-olds to get into the stalls, I would imagine. Arc 1, 2, 3s. It will have been run in 24 hours' time. The 2022. We've been asking for them. Here we go. Will, who's been with us this afternoon, says another one. Westover on top. Alpinista, who always seems to be there. And
Honesto, mate.
it seems like we're not the only one making Ricks out there because I just saw Onesta just come in there as well.
Oh, that's the same
Anil
as me.
Supali. Oh, is it?
It's like the other way around. Ernesto, Torquato Tasso.
Anil, good to have you back on the show. Alpinista on top. Torquato, Tasso and Ernesto. Give us the case.
Yeah, I'm switching Ernesto and Torquato Tasso. I just think Alpinista is rock solid. I think it's a race that is tricky to work out, but I can't see her not being there or thereabouts.
All right, okay, let's get some more in. Well, thank you, Anil, for that. Commander comes on and says, title holder. Al Hakim, who I think Tom Segal has been given a good mention to, and Alpinista. Alpinista everywhere we look at the moment. Title holder, we spoke about this
I like
yesterday.
title holder.
I said he's a little bit forgotten about, isn't he? Before we go to Chris's, this is the
bit.
Japanese Raider.
Just the ability to stay further. He's won Group 1s over 1 mile. 2 miles in Japan.
It's all about the ground,
The
right?
ground is a concern, but I'm using the fact that he stays further. Whereas if this was a horse in Japan who hasn't got proven form over further, that hadn't tried the ground, do you know what I mean?
He's made your 3, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Title holder.
Do you know what I mean, though? Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
if you stay further, that does help you to
They
handle
just haven't.
tougher ground.
It's a matter of time before they win the Arc, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Japanese. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're gonna get one, aren't they?
Is the brilliant video.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Have you never seen it? The All Forever video. I'll show it to the bear afterwards.
Please.
Chris Timms come on and he says, Alpinista, Verdini. Had to do it, Chris, didn't you? And Seal Away. And I want to just stay on this one, guys, because you've picked 2 horses that have not won over a mile 4. Posty, take it away.
There's a stat that no winner of the Arc since 1990 has not won over a mile and a half before the race.
Interesting.
Who does that knock out as well?
I know it's Alverdani.
Luxembourg as well.
Luxembourg as well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Seal Away.
interesting. And Seal Away is the one there, Barry. Yeah.
Well,
Who is-
don't have that as your 3 then.
Who will? I think Seal Away will run well until the first
Yeah.
marker.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm on Seal Away.
Well, and then
Are
run
you?
well in the Champion Stakes after.
So Barry, let's come to you then for your 1, 2, 3 in the 2022 Arc. Take it away.
Yeah, I was Seal Away, Honesto, and title holder.
Seal Away, Ernesto. Yeah, Ernesto is good. It's the Irish champion form, isn't it? So
But
Luxembourg.
he won over a mile and a half before that, didn't he, in the Grand Prix?
Yes,
de
he has
Paris,
done.
so-
He's got the tick, hasn't he?
yeah.
You could argue that he's run an absolute
Blinder.
worldie there.
Yeah.
You know, what about? And again, up until recently, you had to have that 1 next to your name. We know that's not quite. Torquato Tasso, of course, didn't win his usual prep race. I say usual, the prep that he raced at Baden-Baden last time.
No,
The horse
he
that beat him is in there as well.
He was
Isn't he?
beaten before winning the Arc last year, wasn't he?
He came
Alpinista.
with the 1 next to his name.
Alpinista beat him before that, though.
Alpinista, yeah, you have to be the
Yeah,
1-1-1 horse, of course, isn't
gotcha.
turning up. Let's not rub it in with Barry, but Baid is going to turn up at Ascot instead. Okay,
gonna win
all
as
right.
well.
He just wins.
But is that not that
Good
the
to see
whole,
a
the whole
Dale's going there for
the
that.
whole story about him potentially going for the Arc was never going to
You just think it was all rubbish. All
Sold us
guff.
a few papers, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Happy days.
No comment. Thank you, William. Can't wait. I think we're going to hopefully talk to William just before the the Champions Day again. We've got on with the great horse is signing off. We'll get the panels 1, 2, 3s maybe after the next at Redcar. Then the Cold Case looks like he's on the slide slightly, Barry.
No, he was 64 the last time we spoke. He's the same price now, 2.54, 8.4 Maria. Barefoot Angel out to 13. That's a bit of a negative. Funny Story into 8.8, interestingly. And Washington Heights 17.5, bit of a negative for that. That's it, really. It's not. Although there's plenty of runners, the market, obviously Cold Case taking up 40% of the market. If you didn't fancy, you'd have to lay it, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Which you are doing, Wilders.
Yeah. Well, not really, but I mean, I would.
Sure.
I'd rather have the 2 singles on the other 2.
Oh, okay.
You'd be betting 6-4 on the rest of the field if you're laying the favourite.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Get the mechanics behind it, yeah.
Heavily in your favour, pretty much. But he is a showcasing. He's drawn in stall 8, Cold Case. He's tough. He's done very little wrong so far. They paid a few quid for him, didn't they? The pace is going to be spread around, we imagine. But
a good day for these colours.
Absolutely.
It's going to get even better on the Prix Daniel Wildenstein.
Better.
It's going to get even better then.
What time is the Wildenstein?
4:35.
Which reminds me, at 3:25, straight after this, we'll be popping back across the channel to see how Kyprios gets on. It should be quite straightforward this for Kyprios, shouldn't it, guys? He's going to just basically follow. Hang on a minute, Sam. I'll get you in a sec. Quickthorn's just going to go off like the hare he does, isn't he? And I think Tashcan might run well in that. I've got a funny feeling he might run in that for Ben Robinson. Right, Sam Caney, one of my favourites, comes on and says, if Alpinista wins this will be the weakest arc ever. Robbie Wilder's taken it away.
I get his angle, but Alpinista does keep just winning and winning and winning and winning whoever she faces. So
she's beaten Tortosa.
I mean, that Yorkshire Oaks was a good race.
She was cruising through that.
Yeah.
There's an argument to say that she's actually underestimated.
Can we talk a little? You've got a little bit of an inside here, haven't you, to a certain extent, because you know.
Yeah. So the woman that looks after Alpinista actually worked for us when she was a lot younger, Annabelle Willis, and she wanted a job for the summer after she'd been with us through the winter, and I suggested that she went to St Mark Prescott's and got in touch with them, and she went down there. She actually never came back. So
I was about to say the
great.
reason why you come on this show is to advertise Station Yard.
No, but it's great, you know, and you want to see like the obviously Academy for young horses, but for young people.
And she just struck it lucky, didn't she, with Alpinista?
Yeah, I think by all accounts that when the quota of yearlings came in from Kirsten Rousings, that she took a shine to Alpinista and rode her initially and asked if she could look after her, and that was granted by St Mark.
Because you know Heath Health well, of course, from St Mark Stables.
Yeah, I spent a couple of weeks there when I was a youngster, when I was 18, before I went to Richard Fahey's. I did a couple of weeks there. Road work on Albanova.
Who is, of course,
the
Alpinista's
grandmother of Alpinista.
The one, the Kirsten Rousing dynasty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it goes
you
back to Alvarado.
You actually got a bit of work on that, did you?
Yeah.
You keep that quiet, don't you?
I'm triple Group 1 winner, you know. Yeah.
You made her.
No, it's great.
But it's great to see, and she was given some good airtime, wasn't she, as well?
Yeah.
So all the best to her tomorrow.
Rode Chivalry as well when he did one of his first bits of work there.
I remember Chivalry. Wow.
Cambridge,
was that your year, was it?
Well, no, he was only a 2-year-old when I was there by Mark
Chivalry, that was a proper horse, wasn't it?
And they set him up for the Cambridge, didn't they?
I don't know. We wish Sir Mark all the very best. He's even making the journey. Well, great piece with him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant piece that we did with him. It was always going to be. He's been all over the broadsheets this week, of course, and Sky.
Who is it? Doug Smith, or something? He said there was a sick in there.
Doug Smith was
handed him the sick bag.
And what I loved about him, he says, "You're always on the plane that the winners have charted." It's probably been some very old owners that he knows, but and they're popping corks and champagnes, and I'm with the
losing connections.
That's sitting there looking sick as a pig.
Assuming if Prescott still goes on holiday abroad, though. Yeah.
Well, he does travel. He likes to go to Ireland. Yeah, I mean,
Spain.
I probably would go to Spain because he likes the national sport over there. Shall we call it? I'll tell you what, I've quickly manoeuvred around that hot potato.
You checked yourself there.
I did. Talk about checking myself. I do actually have, believe it or not, a TikTok account, and it turns out that the Racing Post have now broken ground as well. We've got a TikTok promo coming up for you. I don't know where it is. Sam Hart is in the studio today.
Yeah, shout out to Sam Hart
no
for
promo.
plugging
I'm
that.
telling you, I was told a TikTok promo in here, but then There's no promos, no emo. What do you mean then, promo? You just want me to advertise the fact that we are now...
Go on, give us a follow.
We are
Give us a
now
follow.
on TikTok. So, TikTok? If you're on...
Oh, he's new to it,
If you are on... I don't really know what TikTok is, I've got to be
I thought
honest.
you meant those sweets that you get in the little plastic cases.
Tic-tacs, yeah, that's right. Or the McCurrick, of course, God rest him.
There'll be plenty of
but
little
we are on
dances and
TikTok,
stuff.
and it's a big thing, and we're going to get... So Rosie Margeson, who sat on this show in Royal Ascot Week, she's on it. She's got Life of Bean, hasn't she? Her horse, of course.
Yeah, Caribbean Spring.
She said that she put a picture of his foot up, and on just to show like some work that'd been on the foot or something, on the shoe or something like that. And the next day she woke up and there were 300,000 views on it.
It does make you wonder who these people
just
are,
that.
doesn't it?
It's
It
madness.
does make
isn't
you
it?
wonder.
So
You're
anyway,
going to
you're
see
going to
more.
be
You're going to
seeing
see
some
more of
great
that on our
content.
platform.
Yeah.
We are going to do some cheeky little things.
give me
on
some
that.
No, we
So-
saw earlier that Jimmy Bullard doing like a replica of the Canio sort of.
Was that TikTok?
kick.
Was it?
No, but we suggested that you might do that in the studio one
Oh,
day.
out of
Yeah.
context, Dave
Yeah.
Orton stuff they
Yeah.
called it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, listen. It would be one thing that I'd be better on that than trying to get over a jump at the station yard. I can tell you that.
That could happen too. That could definitely
Have
happen.
you got a sturdy steed that might?
I'll find one. Don't worry.
I'd love to try and jump.
Hang on. We're going a bit too far here. It's Robbie that's going to get his leg over, isn't it? That's for
Christ,
sure.
what tonight?
That's for sure. Right, so the Cadran comes up shortly after Redcar, and we knew this was going to be a bit touch and go. Washington Heights, I can see going well, guys, for the Ryans, but it's all about cold case according to the markets, and we've had a bit of time to digress. Great to get your 1, 2, 3s out there for the Arc tomorrow. What's your nap on the Arc card? Let's go there. Have you got one? I was, again, I don't know if I told you that I spoke to Aidan O'Brien yesterday, but I came out of that interview thinking Never Ending Story is a back.
Did you?
Yes. In the Boussac.
Interesting.
Yeah, 150 that is tomorrow. I would think that's Aidan's best hope, personally. All right, no Luxembourgs out there in the 1, 2, 3s as well. Worried about the stamina, guys? We'll talk about that a bit after this as well, but off we go. Funny story, not the best away, but watch them.
Missed the kick, yeah.
Here we go. She's in exactly the right place, Barry. Do not worry about that. Misty Blues goes on. What's there as well? There's an interesting horse, actually, in here. Speriamo, who's up there as well for... the McBrides, but she's in the right place. She's just now going to have about 5 or 6 ahead of her, and unsurprisingly, we called it. They have gone far side. Favourite though, Barry, right up there.
Yeah, into even money now. Cold case travels well. No traffic problems, unlike Funny Story. Maria Brandwell 5.3. It's all about the favourite now. Evens.
There's a couple of closers coming. Holguin might be one. You put that up, Rob, as
Yeah, I
a
did.
potential.
Yeah.
Her favourite's good.
can't
It's
see
pole
it.
position, isn't it? Again on the rail. Funny Story's had a terrible run through. She's got absolutely no chance there. Washington Heights is now taking it up. Probably has been aimed at this. The favourite, I'll tell you what's panelling a little
Yeah.
bit, isn't he?
Going
This
up and
isn't
down a
great.
bit.
I'll tell you, the Ryan's going to take this out as well, or is he just going to fill his lungs now and do it?
I'll go in.
Yeah,
on,
Holguin's coming. I'll
Holguin.
tell you what.
He's
This
coming.
couldn't
He's
be
gonna
it,
get
is
there.
it? He's
No,
gonna,
no, he's
no. Story of Wilder's
got carried
career.
away, sorry, mate.
Close but no cigar.
Second
Barefoot Lady, it was Angel, sorry. It was a surprise winner last
Beat
time.
Tremor.
That was pretty straightforward stuff, wasn't it, guys? The great crowd at the Redcar. Is there, like I say, the trackers up against some adversities this year. I think Redcar has really advertised itself well this year. Always get strong fields there. No problems whatsoever. And some competitive racing and decent horses like Cold Case as well. Congratulations if you weighed in with the favourite of the 2 sales races we've had today with Amici going on. Let's switch to France then, guys, because it's Kyprios time. Fast and Furious as promised here on Racing Post Live this afternoon. Absolute pleasure to be with you. We've not got too many races left now. After this, we pop for the final race of the day here, domestically at Ascot, which is the Challenge Cup at 3:36. But right now, it's Kyprios time. Barry Orr.
Yeah, Kyprios 1.74 now, Dave. So around the 8 to 11 mark. Outside of that, Shaney, 4.8 Quick Torn. Like you say, tactically, Quick Torn's going to go off, make it. Ryan Moore's going to be wide to that. And obviously in there, Takshan as well as at 15. But Princess Zoe at 21. There's been a few quid for her, for Tony Mullins. Favourite's going to take all the beating, isn't he?
An honest to God of a horse, Aidan called him in print to us, which I thought was just a brilliant quote. And they must be so pleased with him. He's a horse that we know very well on this show, obviously.
I don't know if this
we
is his
knew him as a
perfect race,
3-year-old as
though.
well. Yates was beaten in it.
Yeah, before my time.
Did
but
you think
yeah,
they'd
he was
go
pretty
back
good,
to
wasn't
Ascot and crown him on Champions Day?
he? Nah, Group 2. I thought they'd go for the Arc after the...
Should it be a Group 1, that?
I think so, yeah.
I think it should.
There's an argument it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, Group 1 horses run it every year.
They do.
But it's just there's less appeal to go, like when he's been running all these Group 1s, it's like just not as sexy going into Group 2, is it?
Yeah.
But I don't know about this for Kyprios. I think I love the horse, but I don't think he's going to win.
Well, all right, okay, all right, fair enough. Well, Robbie's thinking about that extra career, of course. Have you ever seen extras with Ricky Gervais?
Yes.
He'd be perfect in that, wouldn't he?
What do you mean?
Well, you just be one of the extras. You could be an extra.
about?
I could see you in Coronation Street. I could definitely see you in
No,
Robin Hood
if
film.
I'm on a show, mate, I want lines. Yeah, I want to act.
All right, okay. Well, Dave Neverson's trying to do it at the moment, isn't he?
Oh, did you see that video?
No, I haven't.
Johnny the
I
handicapper
do you know
showed
what?
me
I saw
that.
a little bit of it. I couldn't watch it. But Dave, fair
That's quite
play to him
decent.
for trying to have a go.
What's he doing?
He's trying to relaunch his career as an actor.
Oh.
That's the dream job, isn't it?
Well,
Like,
why not? You know,
I'd love to be an actor.
why not? Absolutely. And of course, David Jason, one of our best actors. Del Boy, he only started in his 40s.
Is that true? Mm-hmm. Don't know that.
Yep.
Still time for us, isn't there, Dave? Well, more time for me. But
Absolutely. Some of us used to tread the boards.
some of us used to play in basement jacks as well.
Listen, let's not digress. I've had 9 lives. I'm on the 8th one, I think, at the moment. I'm just looking at the rest of the races. Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you think wrote Romeo? This geezer here.
Absolutely. If you give me the spoons, I'll show you how to play them.
I remember hearing this story, yeah.
This is my that's my
The best
party trick,
story
playing
ever.
the spoons. Have you got a party trick?
Pardon? No.
Party trick?
I got one.
Yeah, not
It's
for
a-
this.
it's a
Not for this
stretch.
hour, maybe.
It's a stretch.
What you
I
do
can,
a stretch?
I can.
Because
yeah,
you're a yogi,
I'm
aren't you?
I was doing yoga this morning, actually. Yeah, I can do this thing where I. Do you want me to show you?
No, definitely not.
All right.
No, definitely not.
Say
Fancy
that one
the
for another
screen
time.
staying intact and everything, Rob, actually. So really warm order then, Kyprios. Good luck if you've got him in multiples or if you're just going straight in. Or are you taking him on? I can see why Tashkent is quite lights in the market. No good behind Quickthorn last time, but that's not his sort of race. Away we go then. Isn't it lovely to see Princess Zoe coming back and having yet another crack at this? We've got the dollar to coming up after this at 4 o'clock when we're off air. Dave goes in that. Up
He's
against that mark.
rousting Kyprios.
Lismore, get over.
Well, in fact, nearly leading, which
Yeah.
is something of a surprise. So this is surely because
keep
Ryan
tabs
does
of them.
not want Tom to go clear like he did at
Yeah,
York.
like
right?
York. I mean, the race was run at York after 2 furlongs, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we've got the dollar coming up after this, I said. I'm going to come to Robbie in a sec because you've got one in this, Rob, haven't you?
Yeah, I like Lismore.
Yeah, you do. I should have said that. You put up in, it was of course Henry de
I
Bromhead,
guess she's probably not going to run in the long distance cup now.
which is what you put it up for.
Yeah, I mean, she loves this ground, and that was a really good run in Doncaster Cup.
That's a shame.
I thought she was 25 to 1. I thought that was ludicrous.
Well, Stefan Pasquier is going to be getting a Christmas card from Ryan Moore, who's on the favourite, that's for sure, because it's ensuring that Quickthorn does not get the run in the race. But you can't run away with a Cadran, can you? That'd be madness.
She's not going to run away with it, but no one's going to get to her.
I mean, if they stuck a fence in the Cadran, no one would complain, would they?
Yeah,
No one.
Well, you would if you tried to
It'd
jump.
be some sight, wouldn't it?
It would spice things up, wouldn't
It
it?
absolutely would. Yeah. Okay. All right, Barry. So look, this is. I'm imagining it's pretty straightforward stuff, isn't it? If anything, he should be hardening. He's got the ideal position.
Yeah, he's 1.65. With the Betfair SP of 1.67. 4 quick torn. Princess Zoe into 11.5 at a Betfair SP of 24.
Yeah, okay. Again, a great feel-good story. That was in COVID, wasn't it? They managed to get over there, didn't they? Say in COVID in 2020, of course, when she won, and the owners managed to actually get over there, which was remarkable, really. And that she really lit up that card for us that day on that weird Arc weekend that we had. And they're very, very much strung out. We've seen some gruelling finishes, of course. Trushan saw Stradivarius and Princess Zoe in this race last year. A little bit surprised we're not seeing Trushan. Just all about Ascot, I suppose, is it?
Must be, yeah.
We want to hope the rain
I think
continues.
Trushan won't run again this season.
Do you?
Yeah.
Has he said
Oh,
that,
and King said that after the race that he might put him away.
I wondered whether he was talking a bit. I thought it was a bit hasty. That.
We'll have to see. But
We'll see. All right. Well, let's see if that. Well, look, the Brits are to the fore,
Princess
basically,
Zoe's moving up a
and
bit
the
now.
Irish is up there as well, aren't they? Because Princess Zoe. Lismore, do you remember when she came over? Was that in the COVID year as well? When only it was.
Sandown.
It was Sandown,
Sandown,
yeah.
Yeah, that was just mental performance. Huh?
I mean, he literally took everything at the Cheltenham Festival and the Grand National. Was it 1-2 or 1-3 in that 1-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1-2.
Yeah.
1-2, and then he went and won this, and we were like, give us a chance.
Some year.
And Lismore, of course, the ex-Prescott horse. Alpinista tomorrow then. Just quickly, lads. because we're
Quickthorn
gonna
is
have-
feeling the pinch.
Yeah, Quickthorn's
He's
not
just lost the
leading.
position.
And
he's
He's
not
just lost the
enjoying it.
position.
he's
getting
hating.
rousted.
He's hating everything about it, isn't it? And I tell you what, but you got a long
They're
way to
running
go.
an honest gallop, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They
Massively.
are. They are trying to find Kyprios out a bit, I suppose.
I don't know, but Kyprios is
Have,
adding to
have
all
we
this.
ever seen him travel better?
No, as in but Ryan set his stall out straight away that he obviously thought that Quickthorn was one of his main danger and he didn't want to let him dominate.
I've backed Tashkent each way here,
like
guys, and
Lismore.
I'm pretty
This is
pretty
Lismore's
hopeful
race.
of collecting here. You think Lismore will keep going?
Oh, I
This
can't
is a
believe you said that,
25-to-1
Dave.
winner here, mate.
Why?
Lismore.
The muckers on yourself
Tanky.
saying something like that
Well,
mid-race.
no, you think so? Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? Look, I've
like
got a
to
feeling I
curse
might
it.
win this. He's an absolute out-and-out
girl.
who needs soft ground, does Tashkan. And come on, he's on the bridle. What price has he got?
So is our good
Come
friend
on,
Lismore.
Tashkan. I'll tell you what, he's gone really low, look. He's gone up. Look
It's
at
11
this.
to
He's
4.
absolutely cruising. There's a couple coming from behind as well, potentially here.
Come
What
on,
are they?
Lismore. What's up on the
Goya
bonnet?
Senora. Goya Senora.
All right. It's not a 25-to-1
All right, he's
winner.
taking it up now. What price he gone? Ridiculously low. Kyprios. We're just looking at something so classy here, isn't he? All of a
he's
sudden,
so good,
Tashkan's
isn't
feeling the strain a little bit. I did put the mockers on. Princess So he's doing her absolute best. We've got something called Al Mercado Gris for Tony Piccone. Best name in racing. Absolutely staying on very late indeed. Look at this. This is just
Well, fair
enjoy
enough.
it. Sit back. Now, Yates has got a 126 in his armoury.
Steady, right.
So far, Kyprios, 120? He has absolutely torn them a new
That's
one
a
in
new
this.
flight line,
Keep
that.
going, Tashkan. Isn't this
Look
awful?
at him lugging out, though. Look at him. Look
No,
at him, look at him, look at him, look at him,
Whoa.
look at him, look at him.
Whoa, what's going
Look
on
at him,
here?
look at him.
Fall off.
Look at
What's
him.
this about? This
Look
is
at
Grand
him.
Alliance, isn't it?
Look at
This
him.
is absolute. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
What?
He's doing a victory lap. He's come right over to the stand side, guys.
Oh, he literally...
He must have been 101 when he did that. Did I get
Lugged
third?
the whole way
Yes, I
over.
did. It's
Yeah.
nothing worse, is there, when you try and take something on and they go...
There's 400 metres to go where I am, and he's streaking clear. 200 metres, he's streaking clear.
he's done a Grand Alliance, hasn't he?
Meters, clear.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's cocked his jaw a bit here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can see what
What
they
RPR.
decided to put cheek pieces on him at one point. They said he's got attitude, didn't they?
Do you know what? I honestly think that was a very good ride. Like, as in, he set his stall out early to get Quickthorn beat and make the horse's mind up. I mean, he's a slightly wayward character.
Could have
isn't
fallen off there.
Isn't he magnificent? Everything about him is magnificent.
Just a winning machine, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Listen, that was brilliant. I'm glad we got Al Mercado Gris, who was second, and Dave Orton got the place money. Nothing worse than watching someone go clear when you're trying to see where your
Season
place
now,
money
will
is.
he go to the stairs on Champions Day?
Unlikely, I'd say, Barry, but it
Surely
wouldn't
not
rule
too.
it out. I mean, it's his to lose, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
And he just seemingly just takes his
teamish.
race in. And he's done something Yates hasn't done and given Aidan O'Brien a first Cadran. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. I imagine a lot of trebles and doubles and all that sort of thing have been landed thanks to our wonderful Kyprios, who's given us such a magnificent time of it on the show, that's for sure, this year. All right, we've got to go back to Ascot, though, because Fresh has only gone up £1 for winning, the route into this race, Barry, at the previous meeting here on a Saturday. And the market absolutely loved James Fanchaw's hat-trick seeker.
Yeah, 11 to 4, very, very short at that
Awfully
now.
short.
Fresh. Safe Voyage is 11.5. 9.4 symbolised. Money for that River Nymph who runs so well at Ascot is 11. 13 Blue for You, Roscollon 21. I like New Kingdom, Pat Dobbs for Charlie Appleby. 3-year-old handicap up in Doncaster, and they put cheek pieces on him for the first time, which he enjoyed. He practically made all, which he seemed to enjoy as well. And there was a bit of give in the ground as well there. So he got £3 for that. It's £4 here, offsetting that for Way for Age. And in a very competitive race, he was around a 14 to 1 chance. He's out to 32. He's absolutely friendless in the market. He was the same in Doncaster the day before, or the day he won. He was quite short. He was an 8 or 10 to 1 chance. He finished up with a Betfair SP of 18 that day. So I'm not going to let the drift put me off. Robbie, we're going to have 25 quid win New Kingdom at 30. Happy to be a price taker here on
Well,
the
you can have
exchange.
32, mate.
Well, you go for it, Robbie. You
Yeah,
take
let's have it, yeah.
Magic fingers you have there. And then in the sixth place market, 6 places now, Rob. He's 3.7. We're going to have 25 quid there as well.
Oh,
and
yes.
11 to 4. So New Kingdom for me. They've just introduced a really nice looking one in Newmarket.
Yes.
Imperial Emperor. Keep your eye on that horse. He's after dancing in for William Buick and Charlie Appleby over in Newmarket. So he's a name to remember, Imperial Emperor.
Just while we're doing that, Barry, I'm going to check the breeding of that horse for me, if you don't mind, because I've got a feeling that's the extremely well-bred one. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the one. The breeding of that horse, yeah, he's going to get some quotes. Let's get some tips for this one then. Fresh only went up £1, would you believe it, for winning a big Ascot handicap. And Silent Film only went up £1, finished second to him. I don't know. Everything's in his favour, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, very much. I mean, he's the first place you have to start, isn't he? 100%.
Yeah, but the price is stinky.
Yeah.
So where we go?
Price for a big field.
I was going to be with Orban, but he's a non-runner, so...
So was I. I've jumped on
I'm
two.
going to chuck in Ross Collin because his form is fairly closely matched with Orban in bits and pieces of it. So, yeah, then he ran really well at Leopardstown the last day behind I'm a Gambler, as he did before at Goodwood. So.
Yeah, I'm a Gambler. Of course, Redcar, not sure how he got on. OK, Ross Collin, yeah, who deserves one. That's for Joanne and Farrah's 5.
Territories, slower ground should suit him well as well.
All right, Rob.
The bet of the day in Britain.
Here we go.
Safe voyage.
You're with Tom Segal, who's napped this as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Follow me in again, is he?
Tom Segal has napped this, he won, apparently, I'm a Gambler.
Third in the QE2 on heavy ground, the straight track a few years ago. I know he's not as good as he was back then, but he has fallen a lot in the weights this season. And his last run at Leopardstown he deserves upgrading very much so for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he made up so much late ground, I didn't go too quick. He was drawn in 19, widest of all.
Remind me what you napped on What a Shout when we did it yesterday. What did you do?
Triple time. I said this is the British nap. That's the French nap.
Okay, nice.
But I mean, he's just a handicap of drops these veterans quite quickly. He's back up to 100 now, but I mean, just go back a few months, he was rated 108. He's in form. He likes soft grounds. Yeah, please.
All right, OK. We're just checking out the breeding of that horse. You've looked at
Sukova, so Dermot Weld, Grade 1.
I remember that horse,
yeah.
Yeah, OK.
Remember
Who's
that
the
horse?
half too? Does that make him half?
Owned by Regalado Fernandez.
Sister to
First ruler.
Gaia.
That's it. First ruler is the horse that we've been watching on this show. Yeah, I think they think the world of that 2-year-old you've just seen.
And the dam's half sister to Gaia.
Isn't it funny that Charlie Appleby's hardly represented at Longchamp this weekend? That's something that we've not talked about.
Yeah, why is that?
He's only got one entry, I think I saw. Anyway, we'll go back to that. Not sure why. If you remember this time last year, a lot of people saying what's going on with Aidan O'Brien because Charlie basically was swamping it all, wasn't it? Usually have something in the foray, all sorts of stuff. So Space Blues, etc. Interesting talking point. OK, I like River Nymph here, who's a Victoria Cup winner and struggled a bit after winning the Victoria Cup, but he's got his ground. Curbs is on a quick double, having steered Rohan to success in the previous one, and lots to like. Was third last time to Fresh. I think with this ground, every chance that form will be reversed. So for me, around about 8-1, I really like River Nymph. I really like River Nymph. You right there? Amusing yourself in the corner?
So I'm just enjoying being here, mate.
Good. I'm glad to hear
It's
that.
absolutely flown by this 2.25 hours.
Good.
Isn't it?
I thought someone was going to put up Blue for You, who is a horse that always seems to get tipped on this show.
Yeah, he won
got the
really
job
well
done.
at York last time, didn't he?
Yeah. Now, Tud Hope, of course, has got to ride Fresh because he's a Clipper Logistics retainer. So Jason Watson, who's had a really good time there, actually. It's good to see Jason come back. Omara's had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
You're sort of looking at me as if you're not sure.
Nah, it's just whenever I hear Jason Watson on there's this clip of him calling himself good looking on
Is there?
Sky Sports race.
Is there really?
Is it?
What?
So I'll show
What
you.
a surprise you know about that.
No, it's just so funny.
Symbolise has been a bit of a punt here, Barry, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, good money for it into 8.6 now, Dave. Also good money for a few quid for Mom's Tipple into 38. Friend of the show.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, for lots of different reasons. But again, credit where it's due. Mum's Tipple has come back. Ross Briley was saying for ages, why don't they just run it at York? And of course, that's where it, you couldn't make it up, could you? So Sean Levy, of course, good to see Sean back in the saddle.
Yeah, I mean, crikey, what a
Stitch up.
That's another hot potato.
Yeah.
Hospital pass, as we call them, here on Racing Post Live. We won't be dealing with them. Right, it's been a great show so far. This is the final race. Of course, a Dave coming up still in France for you. It's all happening, isn't it? What a card tonight, by the way, in America at the Belmont. Wow, great stuff going on. So much more coming your way. Loads tomorrow as well. Maybe we'll find you a best bet on the card tomorrow before we go from each of the panellists as well. Just give you something to look forward to. Where do you spend your Arc Day? Wherever it is. If you're going, safe journey. Go and enjoy it. Lap it all up. And if you're not, what a Sunday to put your feet up with at home. Right, good luck with Safe Voyage.
Yeah, no, it's just
Professional reputation stakes on this.
Safe journey.
I like it. Safe Voyage.
See, got pennies dropped.
Well, I don't usually listen to you. Right, off we go. And unsurprisingly, Silent Film, who tried to make all last time behind...
New Kingdom.
Of course, French. Is it New Kingdom in front? Yes. Oh, it is. Sorry.
New Kingdom, yeah.
They switched it up. This is you in front, Barry. How are you feeling about that?
Well, that's what he did in Donny, and it made all the difference. So I'm hoping today's the same.
Okay, and Silent Film, who tried to lead behind Fresh last time, has
Dropped
indeed
out.
quite right gone right, dropped out. Right, what have we got here? Chalier's there, another one of the Omar horses. Oh, Rob, no excuses today, my
No
friend.
excuses, boy.
No excuses, my lad.
It's happening.
Because Safe Voyage is right there, symbolises there as well. Looking for my River Nymph out the back, and you're Ross Golding, Posty. Got to see them all in.
Yeah, exactly. Got to pass them all, I think, nearly. But
no bad thing at Ascot.
Not at all.
No,
Yeah,
all right. And
but
hard
a lot of
against
lot
the far
looking at
side.
this. Yeah, going to be traffic problems now.
Mum's tipple. If you're on the far side, Sean Levy's thinking, "Hang on, lads, give me a chance here."
Fresh is going to get.
There's a
locked in
cutaway,
bit,
of course, and this is where they start to make the move. Paul Keeley put up a case for the lovable board man who will be bidding to win for the first time outside of May, but he's got his chance. Blue for You travels. River Nymph, I'm getting excited about. Fresh is starting to feel the pinch here. Accidental Agent not done with. Oh, River Nymph, come on, Curves, get a run. He's not got it. Oh, it's horrible viewing on River Nymph.
Escobar.
Look at Escobar. No, surely not. Escobar. Wow, look at this. Cutting through. Andrea Azzini. Surely not. This horse never wins. He does today. On the far side, Asjad's absolutely flying home. But this has been a dream run through for Escobar. All the adjectives will be coming for this chap. Barry, you knew when? About a furlong out.
If you gave me 10 bets, I don't think I'd have picked Escobar. He wouldn't have been on my team sheet, that's for sure. Mom's Tipple ran well. The horse we flagged up, there was a few quid for, traded at a low of 4.4. We also saw Chalier trade low in... didn't trade low at all, really, in running. Yeah, it's hard to... Mom's Tipple had a bet for SP at 20... Escobar had a bet for SP at 27.
Wow, and this is a horse that dances all the dances, isn't it? He's a sort of horse we've seen over the years that can run one in the Sussex, but he just needs, and again, Robbie hates it when I say this, but everything to go right. Isn't it funny how it looked like there was going to be some carnage on that far right? And they've all moved on.
Cutaway.
Yeah, the cutaway.
Cutaway. And they've all just fanned out. If you watch back River Nymph, who I put up, we were a bit unlucky there, guys. I'm not suggesting we'd have beaten the winner, but my Lord, Kirby was doing a Rohan. Absolutely cruising. He's never run over a mile. Is he in the Balmoral? No, he's not. So where they go with River Nymph now, I don't know. I imagine that was the day. But he has run much better than his fourth there. Well, great then. We're done at Ascot and Escobar. Who knew? Mum's Tipple, Asjad, big eye catcher coming through as well. He's still in good form for James Horton, and River Nymph got the money.
Andrea Azzini as well, after losing or ending that retainer.
Would have been on Fontaine, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Today, he was probably watching. Well,
would he have been there, or would he have been? He could have been.
Oh, well, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Or he could have been at Redcar.
Because we've got the best bet of the weekend. I mean, Safe Voyage, we'll just forget about that one. But
triple time in the Prix Daniel Wildenstein.
The final race of the day at Longchamp.
Yeah, it's on.
All right, okay. Robbie, it's been great to have you.
Been good to see you, mate.
No, thank you very much. Charlie Post, great insight about, of course, Christoph Sumo and the rest. Best bet on Arc Day tomorrow?
Joseph's filly in the Opera.
Yeah, above the curve. That's my one as well. Yeah,
great
above
time
the curve.
Great time to sign off with Barry.
Yeah.
Are we on that, Barry?
All four of us, yeah.
Above the curve is a bet tomorrow?
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
We're all in.
All right, Barry, it's been brilliant. Great stuff. Another fantastic weekend. Some profit made, hopefully, for the Injured Jockeys Fund as well. Enjoy the evening, my friend.
Thanks, lads. Thanks, Robbie, for doing that. Thanks, Charlie. See you all again.
Cheers,
brilliant stuff. Thanks to the guys in the gallery. Thank you for you for watching as well. Enjoy the Arc. Seemingly a lot of people got Albanista on top. Sir Mark Prescott. He couldn't, could he?